There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
We are in a land haunted by the past. The land down under breeds them tough and hardy, none more so than the Geru. But the hard outback blisters even their thick skins, scours their souls. The Geru committed a great wrong here long ago, and the repercussions still haunt them. The Geru must make amends for their past, lest they forever remain strangers to Dreamtime, the spirit world of Australia. This is Rage Across Australia, and this is the bleakest book I have ever seen come out World of the Apocalypse. You look at some of the other books here, you've got the Seventh Generation, which is a nasty, nasty evil in Rage Across New York. You've got the full-out war in Rage Across the Amazon. And you've got a pretty nasty looming threat with Absimilliard in Rage Across Russia. But Australia, dog, I flipped through this book, and this looks hopeless. I don't know how you're supposed to pull a happy ending out of Australia, dude, because, well, Australia is already a bad place in the modern world, given how radically this country has changed in the past 5 years, to where, I don't know, I'm living in an authoritarian stranglehold where I just have no rights anymore. But looking at Rage Across Australia, somehow you managed to make this place even worse. I don't know how you did it.
Leave it to White Wolf.
Yeah, but oh my god, this is just this is the darkest that you can get with World Darkness because of just how much stuff you are stacked up against with this book. Okay, you know who we are by this point. I'm Johnny, he's Kyle, he's Ryan. We're joined by our local Nuisha, Dan, and our
Hello.
Gloucester, speaking through the wire, Eden.
You got one thing wrong. I'm not Ryan. I'm a failure. Hey.
What happened?
Everything.
So,
bro, you're good.
he's getting character for Wormbaiter for later in the story.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I do believe Kingus is going to try to join us later, and Lieutenant Sek is going to hop in at the very last minute, like the WWE.
Yeah, toward the end.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's go into it because this isn't like Rage Across Appalachia where I can just say, oh, American history happened. Check out our Croton video if you want to learn about that. Check out our Wendigo video. No, we actually have to explain the background of Australia this time.
Yeah, there's a lot that I know fuck all about Australia, so this is gonna be an adventure for all of us.
We have a good friend of the channel, Gary, who Dan knows, because he's in a Hunter Reckoning game that we play on Fridays. And he plays Bentley, a hermit hunter who we have never seen in person, but he is more than pulling his weight in combat. And Dan in question is playing Dr. Gibson in my Hunter game. Our local doctor who is a little bit too curious when it comes to what bumps in the night.
Oopsie.
And yeah, just out of all the injuries, you've gotten it the worst in the Hunter game.
Actually, I wouldn't know because every single time combat happens, it happens to be the time when like I'm either doing my LARP or something else pops up. So
yeah, you got shot in the head and you're missing your right ear.
right.
As of recent events. And Father Evergreen might have you beat because he's now got permanent damage to his lungs after breathing in white phosphorus. So yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff in the Hunter game. You will never see it because we're not recording it. That entire game is just me unfiltered, unscripted. So
Okay,
I can say whatever the hell I want. We won't get even worse when it comes to New York by Night. Speaking of by night, there is no vampire supplement for this book. Australia is purely werewolf. There is no vampire book helping you on this. There's no mage book. There is no changeling, wraith. This is the end-all be-all. You get the story from the werewolf's point of view. That's it. You don't get anyone else's story. Also, I love that when you open this book and you go into the history section, the first thing you see is a portrait of Mara the Skull. That's one of the very first images that pops up. Where
is it Mara the Scream?
Mara the Scream, I'm sorry. I was thinking of what she was holding in her hand when I said that. Yeah, Mara the Scream is her name. See, you can shut the orchestra off. We don't need it anymore. And see, who remembers what Australia was supposed to be for the British Empire?
Slave colony.
Is
Thought it
that
was a
more of a
prison
prison colony?
Yeah.
But
I did not know that.
Technically, the UK was overcrowded. So they needed to send all their convicts off.
exactly. When you're the British Empire and you control half the damn planet, you're going to have a lot of prisoners. You're going to need a spot to send them. And Australia, which was a place that was nothing but desert out in the middle of the ocean, as far as they were concerned, that was a perfect spot to send them. But they weren't the first people over there. China were the first people to discover Australia, and they came to the same conclusion as the British. This land is barren. There's nothing here but hostile wildlife and dirt. There's no reason to colonize Australia. They left, and they would have colonized Africa, but now you decide you wanted to bind feet, and it made it impossible for you to get women over to Africa. So, you could have controlled the world a hell of a lot earlier, but you botched that. All because of your emperor and his foot fetish. And who came next? The Dutch, who came to the same conclusion. There's nothing here but hostile wildlife and dirt. We've got no interest. The British actually had used to our place is terrible. And who were by that logic, who were the first werewolves to come to Australia?
Silver Fangs?
Silver Fangs, yes, but there was a tribe that we have all forgotten.
Farewell to your bricks and mortar. Wait, no, there was the bunyip, actually.
He said the bunyip. There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the tribe that nobody remembers because they all died.
Yes.
And they didn't go out in style like the Croatan did.
No, there was some fuck shit. We'll get into that in a minute.
There's a contrast between these two tribes where the White Howlers went the coward's way out and willingly signed themselves over to the Worm in order to avoid their own deaths because
the
they don't
coward's
know
way
what's
out.
gonna happen in the afterlife.
Excuse me, more like just the idiot's way out. They dived in thinking they would win.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
And
why are they the cowards?
The Croatan died a hero's death. That nobody pulled a boss move quite the way the Croatan did. But the Bunyip, this was just a massacre. There was no blaze of glory for the Bunyip. It was just a genocide by the end of the day. And it starts with the Silver Fangs, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The Bunyip came to Australia with the indigenous people that would become the Aboriginals an estimated 50,000 years ago. Ancient history. It was the same group of werewolves that would have been the Wendigo and Actina in any other story, but they decided they wanted to go their own way with Australia, and they looked around and said, this is a peaceful little patch of land, but they kept some contact with the rest of the Giru Nation. They knew about the Imperium, they knew about the War of Rage, and they hated both of those things. That turned them off with the idea of the Giru Nation. They already didn't like the Red Talons. They really didn't like the Silver Fangs. So what did they do? They had cairns, and they went over to Luna and said, "Can you please shut off all of our land bridges?" Luna said, "Well, why would you want to do that?" They said, "Just do it." She said, "Okay, it's your funeral." She turned off the moon bridges, and now Australia is completely cut off from the rest of the Giru Nation. And the Bunyip are quickly forgotten. No, as in, like, literally, the ancestor spirits just forget the Bunyip exist. There's a thing you can do with Werewolf, such as, talking to spirits and ancestors. You can go to Fenrir. Fenrir is in the Deep Umbra. You can talk to this guy, and he can tell you the history of him hunting Odin and Wotan. Seemingly, no ancestor spirit remembers the Bunyip before this time.
It seems like a bit of a plot hole, in all honesty.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like that, but I guess nobody cared about the Bunyip, and given their attitude towards the Stargazers, where the Stargazers walk out on family and fuck the Stargazers, I suppose they had that same attitude towards the Bunyip. What happened to the Bunyip might happen to the Stargazers later down the line. So keep that dark future in mind. And the Bunyip decide that they're going to be guardian angels instead of directly intervening with Aboriginal life. They're going to stay in their own patch of the Umbra called the Dreamtime, and they're just going to watch humanity play itself out. If the worm comes up, they'll get involved. And the changing breed that directly interferes with and controls human history in Australia around this time is the Macaulay. The Macaulay completely dominate this area. And, well, I think we went over this a little bit in our Macaulay episode, so I won't reiterate too much, but you have the Gumagon down here. The big, scary dinosaur, Macaulay. So, yeah, Australia's a pretty nice place to be because nothing happens here. You just hunt for food, try not to die from a spider bite, and that's it, really. Sounds like a good place to live, right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty
if you're
standard.
a wolf,
Yeah, what's
you're
our
not a
resident
human,
Glasswalker have to say about this?
I think
Glasswalker's seeing a lot of potential when he first sees it.
I think you're underplaying all the threats in the wilderness. The cities are the only safe place.
Yeah, there's also the Orkia in Australia. Where it's the Orkia, they have their own little adventures that they don't tell us about, and the Orkia do Orkia things.
They swim
I wish
around
we had
and
more
eat
information
things.
about. Wish they recorded what they did, but I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, writing is lame.
And 75% of them died in a nuke. So, I guess there are no Rokia that were old enough to tell us the story as to what Australia looked like around this time. They do have the Great Barrier Reef to look after. That's a fun thing they have.
They either got wiped out or corrupted.
Have you seen pictures of that reef, by the way?
What, recently?
No, like just in general, the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
It's like
It's
two
called-
hexagonal. It's like 2 hexagonal squares in Civilization 6. And,
Oh.
and you get like
This is
you get like 4 sciences in every adjacent square.
This massive ass wall that plays a massive ecological role in our world, and everybody wants to pollute this place. Great, stop polluting it.
You know where we need
This is-
microplastics? Right here.
There is no literal island made of plastic, but there is enough plastic to make an island floating around this area. Thank you, China. Thank you, Philippines. You can kiss my ass with this carbon footprint shit because I don't live in the country that's #1 in emissions. All this #1 stuff with America, like obesity, emissions, shit like that, that's only because of how much land and how populous America is. There are countries that are polluting way worse than us.
Hey,
Amen.
I have to go.
Oh,
What?
something come up?
I have to go. Yeah, something
Alright.
came up.
I'll let you go.
All right,
buddy.
see you, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
See you.
I can give you the pages that I was going to cover.
No, I got covered.
Have a good one, guys. Sorry about this.
Better, bro.
All right.
Peace out.
So, looking at, rant aside, quit saying I'm from a horrible country. Now, America's a nice place to live. And around the time you get, I don't know, the year, well, what would you say, the 17th century? I'm trying to
Thereabouts.
pin this down to an exact year. It's when William Dampier came over to Australia.
I think it was in like the late 1700s, something like that.
See, William Dampier, English explorer and pirate. Great guy, right?
Yar har.
He died in 1715. So, and yeah, he'll
don't
be
know, was
followed
it-
by one Captain Cook. So this man comes to Australia and sets the tone for what would be Britain's relationship with the Aboriginals by just shooting an unarmed man in the middle of the wilderness. And behold, you think that the Americans, did the Native Americans dirty? We didn't go full blown genocide like what the British Empire did with the Aboriginals. Kyle, I think I mentioned this to you before, where there was this plan to exterminate the Aboriginal race by mixed breeding them with white people, and then you have the biracial people mixed with more white people until eventually
It was
the
basically
Aborigines is
eugenics,
bred out
yeah.
themselves.
I do remember
Exactly.
that.
Along with just, I don't know, abducting children from Aboriginal families and forcing them into homes run by white people that would beat the shit out of the kids and force them to act the same way that they did.
Yep, that was Canada too.
Yeah, you gotta love
Gotta love
how
colonization.
nice how nice the British Empire is. And to my surprise, that kept going until what, a few years after World War II ended. That's how long that shit went on for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so not a nice place to live after the white man comes here. You think the Wendigo have something to complain about? No, the Bunyip.
They got the raw end of the deal, man.
They can out complain the Wendigo on that.
No, the Wendigo had it they're even like in the 1950s and 1960s, like this was actually happening in Canada as well. So
yeah, exactly. The Canadian history. You can explain a little bit more on that one because you actually live in Canada.
Well, you can always read the book April Rain Tree that kind of explains it.
We'll keep that in mind. And Meepian knows the history, but Meepian's not here now, is he?
Sadly.
All right, going down the line. What happened in America around 1776?
In America?
Independence.
We declared independence. Yep. God bless us.
And as it turns out, America's not our problem anymore. Let's just direct all of our attention to Australia. So thank you, America. Your independence made Australia a worse place to live. Because
don't care, didn't ask, cry about it.
Jeez, sorry for being free, God.
As it turns out, Britain lost the best place to put their convicts, so now they're putting all of them in Australia. Most of them are Fianna kinfolk. Yeah.
Oh, this is the part where I start singing Botany Bay. Gotcha.
Yes, this is where you start singing it. Like, sing itself in the background. And who comes with the Fianna? The Silverfangs. And the Silverfangs love human suffering. They love stepping on the neck of the common man, the poor man, the pitiful man. And they're just bad people. I think we've made that point already. Fuck the Silverfangs. I remember, I think it was in our Halloween special, it was Cowardly France, where I was telling him about the Burning Crown. And he said, well, what about the noble image of the Silverfangs? Are you going to carry that in? And I thought, what noble image? There's nothing noble about the Silverfangs.
There never was.
There's never was. These guys have been assholes since day one.
Yep.
You had one achievement.
Yeah, but so have the Tremere, so have the Zemitzi. I mean, like...
yeah, but those are vampires. They don't count.
And the Tremere Chantry is still standing. Count? That's still standing. The Silverfangs have nothing. Russia's been lost. You lost that to the Bruja, you lost that to Shadow Lords.
They have good gifts.
It's them sitting going, back in my day, we didn't have that thing you had. It's just the worst kind of baby boomer werewolf is the Silverfangs. You make the Tremere, Methuselah, and Elders look good in comparison.
You mean to tell me this is a rank 5 fetish? I know what I got, sonny.
So
mechanically, they are good, okay?
Well, yeah, we're not debating that. We're just saying, like, as far as the story goes, no, the Silverfangs are not good people.
Terrible people.
That's why using the canon is not really recommended. You're supposed to make up your own shit.
See,
and we did.
I think this is a secret Silverfang I think this is a secret Silverfang in the call with us.
I think the Noisha is just being the Noisha, my man.
Yeah.
I think the Noisha is a koi wolf with a Silverfang kinfolk.
I just like being contradictory.
Devil's advocate. You have the first Silverfang king come along with all of these people that want to set up a prison colony. And this is... Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
Were there any bonars they brought along to oppress?
Yes, thank you for saying that.
Definitely.
The first king to come into Australia is one Earl Blaze. Can you get more up your ass than that kind of name? And he brings all of his indentured bonar servants with him to Australia. And upon seeing the thylacines, the bunyip, they say, that's not a werewolf, kill it. And so they do, and so the Silverfangs start genociding the bunyip, and who they bring along with them to help? The Red Talons and the Gallifenris. But now you might be wondering, why do the bunyip look like this? Well, it's because the bunyip, when they came over to Australia, realized that there are no wolves here. So, shit, what are you going to do for kinfolk? As it turns out, you have the thylacine, which isn't really a wolf, but close enough, I guess. And they slowly adapt themselves to breeding with the thylacine. And now they no longer look like wolves. There's nothing wolf about them anymore. They're like their own changing breed in a way. Kind of like how the Naga work with the Macaulay, where thanks to your circumstances and your environment, you became something else. And that's kind of interesting, because I'm thinking also, what if we had a were marsupial down in Australia too? If we had the were kangaroo.
And the were platypus.
Can you imagine how much the were kangaroo would kick ass?
That would be kind of fucking tight.
They're already dangerous. Imagine how big that cryoform would be.
Oh, dude, that'd be terrifying. I mean, you do have the puka as well. That might help.
Let's see, just pull up a video of those kangaroo having a fight on the guy's patio at the bar, and one kangaroo picks up the other and slams him down the table. You start having that in Australia.
Yeah, I fucking love kangaroo.
See, it's a beautiful animal. And Earl Blaze, in all of his madness, says thylacines must die. Guess who he pisses off? Not the bunyip. The Fianna is who he pisses off. Who get pretty sick of participating in a genocide that's not the Camazotz. So what they do, they turn on Earl Blaze in a coup where 6 Fianna chase after him and personally target Earl Blaze, run right past the security, head right for the guy. Earl Blaze manages to kill 4 of them. 2 of them catch him, tear his arms off, and he bleeds to death on the ground. Because I guess he also gets stabbed by silver knives. I mean, you could just regenerate the arms, but no. The point is that Earl Blaze dies. And then the 2 Fianna that kill him die. And now it looks like a full-blown war is going to break out between the Fianna and the Silverfangs, as it should have. Because, well, this isn't the first time the Fianna have raised their hands against the Silverfangs.
I think we need to do that more often.
I think that they're...
What?
I have my own headcanon. I think Earl Blaze has... I think him and Roman Pendragon are related in some way.
Could be.
Roman Pendragon being the Bruja, like redcoat that's like a total fucking like a tyrant.
Exactly.
Back in like
who spits in the face of Theo Bell, his exact opposite. And
was Theo Bell around during that time? Oh, okay.
See, yeah, Theo Bell's still alive. He causes the events of Vampire 5th Edition.
Oh, I know that.
I'm talking about in the modern day. Did he exist beforehand? I gotta look him up again. But I digress with them. There was going to be a war between the Fianna and the Silverfangs, but it got quashed by one Greymane Sleekfur. Thank you for another pretentious name. The successor of Earl Blaze, who says, I have devised a mathematical equation where I knock my microphone over, where the lives of 6 Fianna are equal to the life of 1 Silverfang. An equal exchange has been made. There's no need to go to war. Where, thanks for the 3/5 compromise, you asshole.
That's basically
Silverfang math.
That's basically what he did to justify. He's like, okay, we don't want to fight the Fianna, but we also don't want to treat them as equals. Let's make them worth, let's make 6 of them worth, or let's make them worth 1/6 of a Silverfang.
In terms of what happens with Greymane, he would eventually kill himself after realizing that he's been spending too much time with the Thylacines, and he just let the worm sneak under his nose. So yeah, he falls to Hirano like I don't know, every Silverfang does. But good. We got one less in the world. Thank you for doing the favor for us, Greymane. And so you might be wondering, it's 1803. We have no Silverfang leader. Who's going to lead? Well, the Shadow Lords start coming in and they rub their hands together and say, all right, so we're going to be the guys that are going to rule Australia. Silverfangs are gone. It's going to be us who rules. And right as they're making their way to the throne, somebody sucker punches them and takes the throne from them. The Red Talons.
Oh, good. Really?
The most sane and stable of all the werewolves leading the werewolves. Talk about the blind leading the blind, am I right?
I mean, it's
Where-
Australia. It kind of makes more sense because it's, nothing there.
And so, yeah, full-blown extinction of thylacines. Back in action, everybody. Also, there's a little mention here about a hermetic mage. There's an Order of Hermes presence here, where one James Sterling manages to sneak through with the Black Furies and Shadow Lords that were coming into Australia around this time in 1829. He makes a chantry in Perth. He's still there. He's still alive. If you want an Order of Hermes mage game, behold, there's a chantry for you waiting for you in Australia. I bet all the Hermetics in the audience are very happy about that. And that's just kind of in the story in the middle there. I mean, there's nowhere else you could really put that. But yeah, we digress. The book itself digresses. And the Red Helens are so focused on killing each other, other Geru, the Thylacines, the Macaulay, that they devote no time or resources towards actually fighting the worm. So in 1830, a little group called the Squattocracy forms, where it's these rich people that decide they're going to do squatters' rights in Australia. We're going to stay here. We're going to stay here for years, establish a presence, and then claim that we're locals of the place, even though we technically aren't. And then use it as an excuse to, genocide Aboriginals, burn down the Australian bush, kill animals in the street, and bring in all these different invasive species that have no reason to be here. Like, the fox and the rabbit, where the Australian government just brought them over, and a little fun invasive species that's still around. See, you want to pull up the fox problem in Australia?
I didn't realize there was one, but now I see that might be an ecological crisis.
Didn't we mention before we had like this crazy idea where we looked up North Korea and saw that there were no scorpions in North Korea? And we thought the best way to fight North Korea would be to send them just entire
boxes and boxes of scorpions, ecological warfare.
Just send all the scorpions this way.
That's kind of funny. It might actually work.
See, don't fight harder, fight smarter. That's how you do it.
Everyone knows that the North Koreans' natural predator is the scorpion.
Unrestricted warfare by the Chinese government.
There we go. The Chinese know how to do war. They went to war so many times. They went to war with themselves and lost.
And there's ecological warfare, political, economic.
They're really good at it.
Yeah,
that's why anytime a group of animals are together in one place, it's called a zoo.
Unless it's a farm.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Yeah, as it turns out, there are 7.2 million red foxes in Australia that aren't supposed to be there.
That's a lot of
like
fox.
a kitsune paradise.
Exactly, but the kitsune rule is that they can't form outside Japan. I say, fuck that rule. That's stupid. Just have them be in Australia. Where Dan can tell you about a kitsune I put in the game. You want to bring it up, Dan?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea? You have no idea?
Nope.
This character's pulled the wool over your eyes how many times? You're not going to talk about her?
A doctor doesn't kiss and tell, okay?
Okay. Laughing at my own inside joke aside, the Squattocracy forms, and the Rat Talons do nothing. Nothing. They do nothing. Great Man kills himself, and the Red Talons do nothing. So, what happens? The Thylacines, you might be wondering, did the Bunyip try to fight back? Yeah, but they didn't make that much progress because you're in the face of the Ephemeris, the Shadow Lords, and the Red Talons fighting you at the same time. You're not going to survive that if you're just one tribe. And you might be wondering, why are the Ephemeris and Shadow Lords doing this? The cairns. They want the cairns. They don't care who dies. They just want the land. They're nice people, right?
Sounds just like regular colonizer behavior.
Is that because the Ephemeris, they have the whole attitude. They're still in their really shitty attitude period. World War II hasn't happened yet. So it's the attitude of what's mine is mine and what's yours is also mine. And then the Shadow Lords, following the great fascist in the sky, Grandfather Thunder, says that the world needs to be ruled in my name. Go out and take what's theirs and make it rightfully yours.
Go forth and kill.
Yeah, the three-way trifecta. And I think we can progress into a story all the way to 1850, where we have a gold rush. Behold, there's money to be found in Australia.
Yeah!
You know who that attracts? The glassworkers. Where anytime that money is brought up, you bet the glassworkers are going to get involved. This
Yes,
is what
indeedy.
you do, glassworkers. All you care about and all you talk about is money, glassworkers, not who you used to be anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm giving them the wrong name. Iron Riders at this point in history. This is when Starbridge Lion was in charge, which is why the Iron Riders were so obsessed with money during this period. So,
To be fair, there aren't really any railroads in Australia, so there really isn't anything except money for them there at that point of time.
They can
yeah, they're
still
just looking for
extract
money.
iron from the ground, hence
Yeah,
Iron Riders.
Yeah, this is where you get Almighty Dollar and Easy credit from. Where the glassworkers established themselves. Now keep the glassworkers in mind. They're going to come back in a big way. Also, they're not innocent people here, because you want to guess who they brought with them into Australia? Take a wild guess. Take a guess at this.
The Shadow
Or
Lords?
Bonars?
What? No, wait.
The Giovanni.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. They say, hey, it's spaghetti dinner in Australia. It's time to go and have the spaghetti dinner. And they just bring the Giovanni with them.
For fun, you'll understand.
And behold, as the Giovanni proceed to go into the Shadowlands and start enslaving Aboriginal ghosts. Amazing, right?
Yeah, good job, Glasswalkers. You really
But-
knocked it out the park on that one.
But at least the glassworkers got paid. And that's what matters.
Seems it is. Why did you enslave
Well-
the Aboriginal spirits? Money!
You go 10 years into the future, and we have 1860, where we have the Aboriginal Protection Board, which is when we get genocide on industrial scale. This is headed by the Black Spiral Dancers, who everyone has forgotten about. They're about to be remembered in a big way. They look at the Thylacines, the Bunyip, who are just trying to escape the Red Talons by this point. They're just running into the Umbra and hiding from the Red Talons. They're not even trying to fight back anymore. The dream is dead. If a Macaulay tries to defend the Bunyip, they die defending them. So they think, let's speed this up. This is really entertaining, but let's ensure this actually results in a genocide. One, Mara the Scream comes up with a horrible, awful, evil idea. That woman in the splash screen in the thumbnail who's holding the skull, that's her. That's what she looks like. And keep that scene in mind. We have a certain special Red Talon enter the story around this point. This is one of my favorite characters in all of the lore because of just what he represents ideologically. Wormbaiter. What can you tell me about Wormbaiter, guys?
Bill first, ask questions second.
Yeah, basically.
Is that
The,
he is the one that did the genocide, and all like Mirror the Scream did was just take advantage of his stupidity.
is exactly what he does. Let's pull up his picture for this part of the story. Let's go ahead. I love that his portrait, you don't even get a full picture of him. You just get this abstract portrait. That's what you get with him. Where it gives him this otherworldly, nightmarish kind of quality to him. Where he's not even a beast by this point. This guy's just a flat-out monster. And you want to know how monstrous he is? He comes over to Australia and he says, "You're not killing the Bunyip fast enough. Let me take over the genocide." He personally takes to hunting down and killing Bunyip. He's like Saul during the early parts of Christianity, where he's going around, he's looking for Christians to kill them. That's what Wormbaiter's doing. He's looking for Bunyip, dragging them out in the street and executing them in public before other werewolves.
I don't know, if you ask me, I think the artist went a little cheap on the art commission that was given to him.
See, because every portrait in the Red Talon book looks like this, and
That's because werewolves don't paint.
yeah,
A werewolf drew this.
You just put a bunch of paint on a canvas and you have a red talon try to paint him with his paws.
He put his
Nah,
nose
it's
into
a
the
hide.
dirt.
It's a hide they painted with blood.
Exactly. Just drank the blood and they just spat it onto the canvas and it looked like this.
The
A literal
fucking
elephant could paint better than this.
Garrow Jackson Pollock.
You want to take a guess who Wormbader's wife is?
The
Uh,
troll dancer.
No,
Worm Lurer?
his sister.
Wolf
well,
sister or
Yep, his wolf sister.
Makes sense.
Where no, actually no. I think we'll jury's out on it. Grey Flank might have been just Lupus kinfolk. She might have been a werewolf. I'm not entirely sure because the book doesn't exactly explain it. But regardless, he's fucking his sister, and he goes out. He's hunting thylacines. He comes back home one day to find that his sister is decapitated. The head is gone, and there's just a smell of thylacine semen all over her body. Yeah, he goes into a rage after this. He says, "We need to crank up extermination efforts. They just killed my sister. I need to go out and tear every single one of their heads off as retribution." And
Pause
the
for a second.
Glasswalkers, what?
What is thylacine?
The
What's a
Tasmanian
thylacine?
tiger.
Oh, okay.
We
Which
know
is not
what
actually a
animal we're talking about, right? See, the Tasmanian tiger, where it's a creature that is now extinct IRL because of poaching. But Sean has been sending me a few videos of sightings, so I don't know, it could be alive. The progenitors could have revived the bunyip, and now they're out in the wild roaming around.
I just call them dingoes. So
No, the dingo is something similar. Where, oh, by the way, dingoes, those will come back in a minute. The red talons found a way to breed with the dingo, and pretty much just claimed every dingo in Australia as their kinfolk. By the way,
okay.
They're great people.
Yep. So
And
now it's a cult.
Does
They're
that mean
claiming
the,
exclusive sexual rights to all of the members of a community.
which is what the red talons excel at.
technically
You're-
dingoes are pretty common pets in Australia.
That's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Surprised me if some red talons are okay in Australia for as being pets.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tiny wolf. It's not quite a coyote. It's not quite a wolf. It's its own little thing. It looks a little dog-like. Kyle, how would you feel if this thing walked up in your yard?
I don't
Let me
know.
s-
You
let me
haven't
show you
sent
the
me a
picture.
page.
See, here you go. What if this just walked up in your yard? This 2.82 megabyte picture of this boy.
I would pet him and give him treats.
You
Look
can see
at
it?
him. He's
They kinda-
adorable.
They kind of do look. They kind of do look like just like straight up dogs.
They do.
Yeah,
They're
they look adorable.
adorable. I like them.
Go find
That's
the
'cause
guy
they were
rummaging
actually
through the
part
trash
dog.
can.
Yep.
Yeah, just a little part dog.
I would give him. I would
And-
give him tasty treats, and I would name him Francis.
Eventually, we're going to get the dark future where the red talons have to drink the copium and breed with dogs and become were-dogs.
That's
That sounds
funny.
like a great
Based.
future. Exactly. The shape-shifting pug that rips out your throat.
I could see it.
now
Or
they
they
can't
wanna
make
have
fun.
to,
Now they can't make fun of the boners anymore.
Now they're
See-
going to have to beg the glasswalkers to have some of those wolf kinfolk that act like
They're-
dogs.
They're gonna have to plant their eggs in the glassworker test tubes and breed and grow their kinfolk that way.
Yep, but it's a trap. They're all going to turn into glasswalkers eventually that way.
No, they're all
Exactly.
gonna
Surprise!
get droned.
And we're just gonna cut Griffin out of the deal. Sounds great. You have Wormbaiter going around and the glassworkers are telling him, "Hey, buddy, this is a really bad idea," and he tells them to fuck off. And if they try defending the bunyip, he'll kill them. And the Genefenris and the Shadow Lords follow him into battle only because they're waiting for him to die so they can take the cairns that he claimed. They have no real interest in killing the Thylacines anymore. And this continues all the way until the early 1910s where Wormbaiter succeeds. There's only one bunyip left, and he wants to be the one to kill it. He finds it cowering in a cave. He's ready to kill him. And the bunyip just looks up and says, "Please do it. I want to die. Just please. I'm so lonely
Just fuck it.
without my other
Okay.
bunyip. The thought of living by myself like this forever. I would succumb to depression. I'd rather go out violently than go out taking myself out.
I mean,
And
guess I'll
Wormbader,
die.
yep, Wormbader agrees and kills the Bunyip, only for him to revert back to his breed form of a 16-year-old boy. And that strikes a chord with Wormbader, where he begins to realize just what he's been doing this entire time. Wormbader has kids of his own. Seeing somebody like that, he sees his own pups in that dead boy, and he freaks the fuck out in that cave. Mara the Scream then comes out of the shadows, and she speaks using the voice of the Defiler Worm, saying, "Thank you so much for your work, Wormbader. I didn't even have to get you to dance the Black Spiral. You outdid the Black Spiral dancers in work. You might as well be a Black Spiral yourself. So thank you. Thank you. The dream time is now ours to take, where the Black Spirals go in and claim an entire Umbral realm for themselves."
Question.
Great going. Yes.
W20 has Claws of Corrosion, which corrodes
Yes.
the spirit. Did they use that on the Bunyip spirits?
Yes. Where, just to let you know just how bad it is in Australia, in the World of Darkness. And you want to know who else was in the Dreamtime that just got completely fucked over by Black Spirals? Changelings.
All of them.
Yes.
There are no
all
changelings
all
in
the
Australia.
indigenous Australian changelings. Congratulations, now there's nothing defending them from the Black Spirals, who know how to get into the dreaming and are just going to slaughter all of them. Wonderful. So, in penance for this, Wormbader does everybody a favor, jumps off a cliff to his death. As he should.
Yes.
And now we bring his son into the story. Wormbader had many kids. Some of them he had great relationships with. Some of them he had no relationships with. This is one of them. We get to talk about Mamu. Did you have this guy pinned as one of your NPCs you were going to talk about?
I actually did not know, because you told me not to, I
I'm
think.
going to kick your ass for this, Kyle.
Oh.
I
was not paying attention.
You said that we were going to cover this guy in the episode where I got you to promise me this to me.
Oh,
and then you did it.
Which episode was that?
I don't care which one that is. I know you agreed to this. I'm going to kick your ass over this.
We can go over it if you'd like.
I'm going to go over it because his story is certainly integral to the history of Australia.
Okay.
And let's use this Hobbit picture for this. Let's use this. Here's his rage card, by the way. Yeah, he looks freaky, doesn't he?
Yeah, it kind of does.
He's got like a few like shark-like qualities to him, like the nose, the teeth, the ears.
Yep.
And his eyes are naturally red. I love that detail with the red talons, that their Hamid forms look like prehistoric men whenever they shift into Hamid form. You've got a guy who's got like skin that's almost red with the red talons.
Oh yeah, Autumn Leaves. I know him.
Yeah, Autumn Leaves. I wonder if Reprid will ever go into Hamid form in that game.
That
Why does
depends.
it say on the card that this is his Krynos form, yet shows Hamid?
You know what? I don't know.
I think he lost all of his skin in a horrible, desert campaign.
You remember watching Wallace and Gromit? He fell into the sheep shearer machine and got all of his fur pulled away.
That's probably that, yeah.
He is a lupus, so I don't know why it's saying that, because that's not a master deformity.
No.
Human faces.
There is a picture of it's a very small picture, but it's on his. Actually, no, it does show his lupus form on the thing. Here, let me get that. I'll throw the image in chat so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is this, and I will open that in the new tab just to show everybody.
Where this guy is raised in a pack of dingoes, where Mamu's just dumped off by Wormbader into a pack of dingoes, and then Daddy leaves and never comes back.
He went out to get cigarettes.
And Mamu grows up just looking for fights with everyone. Goes off into the wilderness, has his first change, goes back, slaughters and kills the dingo, his dingo pack leader, forcibly takes over the pack, and then is discovered by the Red Talons years later. to where Mamu begins this war campaign amongst other Geru, where he starts taking over the cairns of other Geru now that there's no longer a thylacine to fight. The reason
Not a
he's
good
doing
start.
this, he's looking for challenges. He just wants to fight. He's just violent. He is violence personified. And he can't take over all the cairns, but every Red Talon bends the knee to him after he personally goes up to them and beats them all into submission with his bare hands. And who is the guy who challenges him? Eden, it's Peter.
Nice.
You know?
Yes.
So Peter, why am I blanking on his last name now? It's the guy who gets AIDS and has to go to Brazil to get the AIDS cure.
It's not literally AIDS, but it's
Magic Johnson?
Yes. Magic Peter.
it's
Peter,
actually the snow plague.
Peter Ward, that's what it is. Where it gets rid of your regeneration. That's what he ends up getting. So he goes on his quest to. I'm just going to keep calling it Wolf AIDS because it kind of it basically that is what it is. But he survives the events of his story, and it turns out he has part 2 to his book. He goes to Australia in order to become one with the Macaulay. He wants to learn how the Nesis works, so he can be a better glasswalker and help in the war against the worm. Mamu is the direct antagonist to his story, where I can skip to the end of it. Peter Ward is with his Macaulay friends, accessing the Nesis. Mamu jumps him with his pack and is ready to kill Peter right then and there. Who comes to his rescue? Old Wolf of the Woods.
Oh,
You know, that totem, the red Talon totem, pops up and says, "No, you're not killing him." Mamu insists. What does Old Wolf the Woods do? He strips Mamu of every itty bit of renown that he has and drops him all the way down to the rank of a Goliath in retaliation. And every Red Talon turns on Mamu at the end of that story.
Based old Wolf of the Woods.
And as to what happens with Mamu, it's left ambiguous. We don't know. Maybe he danced the Black Spiral. Maybe he formed like a Skin Dancers pack and now he's Samuel Hates 2.0. We don't know. But either way, more glory to the Glassworkers, am I right?
Well, if that's the case, where the fuck was old Wolf of the Woods when, they were genociding the Bunyip?
That's a good question.
Yeah, goddamn fucking right it is. Dumb motherfucker.
So, he had an important dinner date with Griffin that day. He couldn't afford to miss it. You see, Griffin, he tends to freak out when you cancel on him. Where he's one of those guys who has to be on the date. His birthday has to be celebrated on the date.
He was helping the Americans fight for a revolution.
I don't think so, buddy. Not a Wolf of the Woods, man.
He was playing around in the wolves of Germany during World War One, I guess.
Probably.
And
he was in Yellowstone He was in Yellowstone Park trying to, I don't know, stop volcano from erupting.
He also killed Euronymous. Nobody gets that joke.
Adam?
I was just wondering if he was like possessing those wolves that were like roaming the trenches to World War One and like eating people from both sides, so they called a truce to hunt them down.
That's a good idea. Yeah. You know what? We're using that idea. We're using that.
Like the wolves were an actual thing in World War One.
Yes, where you got the war wolves. So somebody decides, we're going to pick up this wolf. We're going to train it to hunt Germans in English.
Oh no! I'm just talking about regular wolves in the countryside, just deciding to start eating all the people in the trenches.
That's a red Talon psyop right
sense.
there.
Yeah, you are in their territory after all. And finally, the Uktena take control. Because the Uktena liked the Bunyip and were trying to protect them from Wormbaiter, but Wormbaiter found them anyway. So the Uktena are looking, saying, "Oh, right, well, looks like we gotta go kill the Red Talons now. Looks like we're done having our friends die in front of us. The Uktena are about to throw hands with Mamu." But no. They find out that the Black Spirals were behind this massive psyop to genocide the Bunyip. So the Black Spiral Dancers are now back on everybody's radar. And the Uktena look and say, "We are going to avenge the Bunyip, avenge the memory of our dead friends." And the Fianna say, "Hey, we like the sound of that. which leads to a few good years between the Fianna and the Actina, where they're working together hunting black spirals.
Unfortunately,
Hey.
Mirror the Scream was already killed
Yeah,
Damn.
by the Naga.
yeah, where the Naga assassinated her. So, great.
A little late to the party, aren't you, Naga?
The revenge will never be fulfilled. So, well, at least when the Naga go after somebody, they die, no questions asked. And now we have. She's not the one to run it, but now we have a little group. We have a little council that looks over Australia, make sure that I don't know nobody's pulling any shit, nobody's going to do another Bunyip scenario all over again. They are known as, bear with me, the Jindabyne Council, which is a little coalition of every tribe except the Wendigo, who have no business in Australia, that manage all the affairs going on in Australia, making sure that no pack loses their damn mind again. But by this point, it's too late. Pentex is firmly in Australia. If there was a chance to chase Pentex out, that moment has passed. And the dream time is just gone. And you might be wondering what happened to their totem, Rainbow Serpent. The Bunyip had their own little totem with Rainbow Serpent. Rainbow Serpent is gone. There's no getting him back. It's not like White Lion, who was adopted by Griffin. It's not like Turtle, who is in the Deep Umbra. No. I looked up his name, and you say it as I looked this up. It's it's Nalyot. That's how you're
I was
supposed to say
saying it
it.
wrong.
Yeah, Nalyot is how you say it.
Galliard.
He's gone. He's dead. He's been corrupted. He's best case scenario, he's just dead and his spirit has been dispersed. Worst case scenario, this is now a black spiral totem.
Worst case scenario is my homebrew.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's talk about it. Talk about Dark Nalyot.
Oof. We'll do that later when we get to totems.
Alright. Let's do totems now then. Let's do it now. Do it now. History's over. Totem time.
Okay.
So, let me pull it up.
We got a very sexy homebrew for you, ladies and gentlemen. Where I like this idea, and thank you, Eden, for making homebrew. By the way, shout out to our guy on the server, GJ120, who's making a homebrew of his own. Where I like this. I like that we've got a little underground scene of World Darkness in the server. Where because damn, do we need some more life in World Darkness? So yeah, there's the TXT file.
So basically, the entire homebrew is just antagonistic Gyru at this point. But
Yes.
I just explored the entire concept of breeder banes from Dark Ages.
Yes.
And I'm like, why isn't this a tribe? Why aren't the Black Spiral Dancers doing this? And I'm like, oh hey, there's literally a totem in one of the story adventures, which is in Rage Across Australia, where they literally just corrupt a totem of creation and birth. And I'm like, bruh, this is the totem that creates breeder banes. It has to be. So basically, story is you basically go through the entire story module of Rage Across Australia, but the ending is the Black Spiral Dancers used Claws of Corrosion on the Bunyip spirits, and that's a gift, I think, rank 3 of Black Spiral Dancers in W20.
Yes.
There are claw attacks and fang attacks against spirits. If they ever have more points of corruption from those attacks than their current essence rating, they turn into a bane. So basically, in the story module, they awaken Nagaloid, and basically he gets corrupted in the story module if the player characters don't succeed in stopping it. And this assumes that doesn't happen, but it also assumes he wasn't fully corrupted right away. It assumes he absorbed the corruption as his spirit formed from those waters, and it befuddled his mind. And from there, he saw all the Bunyip spirits, which the Black Spiral Dancers had corrupted, fending off the Gyru that realized what the fuck's going on. Oh shit, we gotta get on this. And he basically makes a deal with the devil because he doesn't want to see what's left of his original children dying. And he basically turns into what's the term? The equivalent of an avatar of the worm
See,
that a player
he
character
turns
might
into
have.
the Arcana spirit of rape.
Pretty much.
The fuck was that?
And cuckoldry.
That.
I heard that sound effect. I don't know what that is, and I
Yeah.
don't want to know
It's
what
the
that
fucking
is.
soundboard glitching out, damn it.
Oh.
Try getting the raid scream to play. But yeah, so now we've got the penis snake flying around.
Well, technically, he's more like a sperm cell.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
the
remember
role
talking about
play
this
is-
with you.
Yeah, the role play is basically like he's trying to enter Gaia as if she's like an egg cell. Like,
Yes.
put the worm into Gaia, make Gaia of the worm. And that was the deal with the worm he made. He got all of his children, as well as any gyro he corrupted and femorized, as his protected in his own ancestral realm. So technically, he has his own tribe per se, but all the gyro in his tribe are technically femori.
And
But they
now
don't
he's
get their souls consumed by the worm when they die. They actually get reincarnated.
and now
And
he is the mortal enemy of the children of Gaia who are
Yep.
defending the world tree from him.
pretty much.
And yeah, so I like this idea so much that I'm just going to go ahead and use it for 3.5.
I'm just fleshing stuff out because I didn't actually manage to type everything up. The more I did it, the more I realized some of these concepts could apply to the other splats, and that's where I just started expanding.
Right. See, let me talk about some other totems with you. See, so you want to talk about Murubul Turudun, the Bunyip, where he is the other favorite totem of the Bunyip, where back when he was around, he was a fearsome beast, furred, flippered, and scaled. He had one of every kind of texture to his body, with a long mane and burning eyes. If you wanted to take this guy, it was 7 background points, and he gives you
Jesus.
2 free gifts: Surface Attunement and the Bunyip Boom, as well as a third gift, actually, Billabong Stride. His ban, he asks that his children honor him by drowning one of their enemies every year in a body of fresh water.
That's kind of funny. But
Brutal murder.
so 3 gifts.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what those are. I could pull them up, but it might
Some of
take
those
a
are
minute.
Bunyip exclusive.
Yeah, so you get Bunyip gifts if you take
Yeah.
Murable Turridan.
And your game needs to take place before 1913 for you to get those gifts.
Oh, really? Oh,
Um,
shit.
Yeah, as for anyone, does anyone know these? Maybe Peter Ward, who knows how to replicate them and has negotiated with spirits as to how to remake them, but technically all these gifts are now inaccessible. And let's talk about War Totem. You want to talk about Crocodile again?
If you'd
Because
like,
we got-
we do got
We
two
got a
others.
different crocodile. we got EY the crocodile. He's got 5 points in background, where it's the same old crocodile but different name. He's got a tough hide, and he gives children an additional die to soak rolls. He will also give you 3 points into Primal Urge, and Macaulay will defend you if you're in trouble, specifically the Gumagon. The ban, you must never wear anything crocodile skin. Don't use anything involving the skin of a crocodile.
Oh, that's
And
easy.
you must always help those who are seeking revenge against a foe.
Ooh. That could
Yep.
be pretty weirmish if you're not careful.
Yeah, you gotta keep a clear head about that one. What's the saying? Quest for revenge, dig 2 graves.
Well, that's
Gotta make
dumb.
sure
I'm
you
going to
don't
kill a
help
lot
out
more
the-
than 2 people.
Gotta make sure you don't do the whole school shooter route.
Nah, I don't want
Exactly.
that.
You're gonna lose your damn mind. You're gonna pull a red talon. And see, let's talk about Owl. As it turns out, the Bunyip would also follow Owl or an Owl. It's either the Owl by another name, or it's one of Owl's one of his bottom bitches. You get 4 points, and Owl will teach your children adaptability. They may gain temporary aptitude with any ability, 2 dots, once per story. Just pick any ability score and then add 2 dots to it.
And then 3 pips in stealth.
Yes. The ban, her children must be adaptable and versatile, never becoming set in their ways or habits. She is the only owl totem in Australia. Followers of owls, such as Silent Shredders, will gain the alliance. So actually, now that I just said that, there is no ban. There's no ban.
There just isn't.
You know what I said? You know what I say out loud? There's no ban. You just get attributes and you get 3 points in stealth.
Yeah, fairly cheap. No ban. Pretty good if you ask me.
You just get paid.
Yeah. 4 points and you get paid.
Let's talk about some black spiral totems.
Wait. There's
No
one
cunnings?
of cunning.
Cunning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the possum one, Modi.
You want to follow the trash animal?
Hey, look.
I want to bring it up because that's technically a North American mammal, or marsupial, I should say, not an Australian one.
He's an invasive species. That's what he is.
Yep, but still,
Yeah.
4, 3 stealth, 3 survival. That's pretty damn good.
Exactly, and he's a bonar aligned, kind of, sort of. And the ban, you must leave fruit and other food for possums to find in the park. You gotta litter. You gotta litter.
It's not really littering if it's biodegradable, is it?
See.
Technically, yes.
Oh.
If it attracts pet species like possums, it is littering, unfortunately.
You gotta break the law if you want this guy's benefits.
To be fair,
Also, technically, wouldn't this mean you have to stay in a city with a city park?
Yeah.
or you just find a village that has like a playground and you just leave a piece of fruit there.
You just leave the Snickers bar on the slide, and the possum come up and eat it.
But it needs to be
like
fruit.
4 square foot.
Oh, it's a fruit.
Just do the
and
New
fruit.
York route and have like parks where it's like 4 square feet, just like a single tree. Just
Oh yeah.
buy a whole bunch of land like that as bonars.
It's a park.
Just do
It's a
that.
park.
That's fair.
Like in Tokyo, where it's just like, I don't know, like a plot of sand, one public restroom, and a swing set, and that's it.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's do a worm totem. Let's do Gadu Gadali, who is a bird. May or may not be a friend of Whippoorwill, who is a great seducer. She does the very sexy dance, and she convinces you to dance with Black Sparrow with her. Background cost 4. Bastards of the Brolga, are beautiful and may diminish the effects of any disfigurement. The bastards are able to entrance enemies with a roll of charisma and performance, difficulty equal to the perception and subterfuge roll of their target, while performing an elaborate, graceful dance. The ban, Bastards of Gadu Dagali, must never destroy objects of beauty.
Seems counterintuitive for a black spiral, but okay.
See, no, it's that you're doing the things the Toreador anti-tribute way.
Oh, okay.
See, now Dan, with our hunter game, do you have a wild guess as to who the totem of the person we're currently fighting is?
Let's see. I'm guessing it's the penis totem,
You're guessing it? No, it's this totem.
which is what? Whippoorwiller?
See, the sexy bird dancer.
Huh.
Yep. It's gonna make sense when we reveal who she is, because she's a lore character in this book. Let's see. And next we have Kindy, the frilled neck lizard, who looks disgusting. Go ahead and click on this.
He does. He really does.
Yeah. Where pretty much this guy is just a sadistic asshole, and that's it. That's his character. Background cost 8. Kindy teaches his bastards 5 points for intimidation and 4 points of survival. They also gained a spined neck ruff of bone and scales, making you look freaky as hell, making it very difficult to bite your throat. Like reptiles, they may regulate their metabolism by absorbing heat, acting at up to double speed for a number of turns equal to their Hamid's form's stamina score. Fast as fuck, boy.
Yes, that's fucking crazy.
The ban, Bastards of Kindy are forbidden from material pleasures and must live in harsh conditions. You must intentionally make your life suck if you want to follow this guy.
Honestly,
But what
not
if that is your
worth.
pleasure, though? What if you're a masochist? Does that kind of count?
Yeah, just go out, just live out in the sun, just get the wicked sunburn, enjoy your afternoons peeling the red flesh from your skin.
I mean, some
Technically,
people are into that.
Wouldn't sunburn count as bashing damage?
It
Instantly heal?
would. Yeah.
I can heal
So
that.
you're just walking around just flaking dry skin. You're like Pigpen from the Peanuts comics.
Good lord.
See, this guy's nasty.
Yeah, you don't say.
See. And now we can talk about protectorates. So Australia is majority owned by 4 tribes. Take a guess as to who those tribes are.
Uktena,
Glasswalkers?
Red Talon, Glasswalkers, and Silverfangs? No, Fianna.
You were close, but no Cigar and Silverfangs. Swap that out with Fianna,
It
and
was
you're
Fianna,
right.
yeah.
So let's talk about their biggest protectorate, or their biggest sept, or their biggest cairn per tribe. There is a presence of Black Furies, Stargazers, and Geta Fenris here, but they're not a majority by any means. All right. Let's go down the line. Let's start with the Fianna, because I know how much Kyle loves the Fianna.
Yeah, buddy.
I thought about the 3.5 video and how you couldn't wait for me to finish the sentence. You said, "You took my tribe away from me, you assholes."
They did. I'm still mad about it.
And we get to talk about the Galliard Protectorate, where the Fianna have a little protectorate that has been around since the War of Tears, aka the Massacre of the Bunyip. It is the Aboriginal name of the Grampians. You want to know what that is?
Yes.
Because you gotta pull this up. It is a national park.
okay.
And where are you? Google Maps, can you tell me where this is? Thank you for the very zoomed in image. I can't tell what part of Australia I'm in. It looks like we're somewhere between Melbourne and Adelaide. And
Yeah, Melby.
a little north of Portland. So yeah, it's this actually looks like a really nice place.
Well, yeah, it's
Hang
national
on,
park.
I'm distracted. Let me get a picture of this place.
He was blinded by
picture
his
looks-
majesty, confounded,
See.
dumbstruck.
You gotta zoom out on this picture. This looks like a rare steak that's been pulled up from the earth and cut in half.
It does look very pretty.
Just looking at this.
Hang on, gotta turn
Very
off my light.
blurry
night
image,
light.
but
So you gotta zoom in on that. But
Yep.
yeah, this looks like a really nice place filled with cliffs. So yeah, that's the Aboriginal name for that mountain area. And you have a bunch of Fianna who live here. And well, that's it really.
no, you see here, this is the cliff that Warren Peter threw himself off of after he figured out that he was a part of a ploy. And as a ritual, in respect to the bunyip and the memory of them, we take a piss off the side of the cliff where he jumped off.
And we didn't cover the totem that runs this place. It's Tulu the Kookaburra.
Yes.
Should we go back and cover Tulu?
Kookaburra
Briefly.
sits in the old gum tree.
Yes.
See, we'll go over.
I bet the totem
Alright,
loves
we'll
that
go for-
song.
See, a big country, big dreams for you. So yeah, fitting with the Fianna actually. Kookaburra hates the worm. That's his character. He hates the worm. He hates black spirals, and he hates what happened to the rainbow serpent. So
Wow,
yeah, this
grow a
guy's got
personality.
he's very hateful. Where he helps you never suffer Hirano
That's pretty great.
for background cost 7. And he will teach you Subterfuge 3, the gift Laughter, where if you look at the wiki page, there's a system for laughter. That's a trait that's something that only he teaches. The ban is that children of Tulu must never kill any snakes.
Or actually, it says
You must kill snakes. Sorry, I had a dyslexia moment. So, yeah, if you see a snake, it dies.
unless
includes
it's a
Naga.
servant of the rainbow serpent, which doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't apply anymore. The rainbow serpent's gone.
Or corrupted.
And this is a level 2 gauntlet. No, level 2 cairn. The gauntlet rating is a measly 4. You need to roll a 4 or higher to step sideways here.
Oh, nice.
And what do the Fianna in this area have? Well, they hate the black sparrows, but they also hate the silverfangs. No silverfang is allowed to step inside this protectorate.
And for good reason.
And this place has a reputation for being just a fraternity house of a bunch of Irish drunkards, where that's every Fianna protectorate, guys.
I mean, your toss-up makes it fun.
So yeah, the Fianna have a good time here. They're very bitter. They hate people, and they feel superior in their hatred for other people. So, basically, somebody who works for Channel Awesome.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, yeah, I saw something that tickled my fucking pickle today. Doug Walker was in an episode of Smelling Friends.
I heard about that, and Zach Heidel got a lot of shit from it.
Yeah, like playing as himself as a little demon slayer. But I was laughing because fucking Lewis Lovehog Linkara, that could have been you if you could learn to take a fucking joke.
No, it could have been Linkara. Linkara is too up his own ass.
Anytime Linkara eats shit, I'm happy.
He wears that fedora with pride, I guess.
Yep. So this is a very, very, very rare Doug Walker W. Rare as they come.
The dude got canceled for having 3 rapes happen in his company, and he suffered no consequence from it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about no confidence. Nobody watches Channel Awesome anymore.
Yeah, nobody watches Channel Awesome, and nobody watches the people who were the victims.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's this place called? Katajuta. This is owned by the Uktena. We can talk about them. This place kind of sucks because it's super dry here. We go all the way out into the middle of the Tanami Desert. I don't know why you want to have a protectorate here, but you do.
The Sept of the Waking Dream. I can read about that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
All right, let's see.
Sept of the Waking Dream.
The Australian outback is one of the harshest environments found in all of Gaia. The desert is sunny. This is geography. Never mind. Let's see. Where is it?
Get a little bit closer to your microphone.
Okay. History. So, Katajuka was the first established when the Uktena Philodox calls of the night attempted to follow a moon bridge to Uluru. Am I spelling that right? Uluru.
Uluru, yeah. Uluru, yeah.
Balked at the end of her long journey, called to the night, could not forget the feelings of pain and great power she had sensed before being rebuffed. Journeying with several companions, she undertook the dangerous sea voyage necessary to reach Australia. When the group arrived in the outback in the mid-19th century, they were shocked to discover how many of the Aboriginals were kinfolk to the Bunyip. None of the Bunyip, however, were found. Thinking of the Croatan tribe, the lost brothers of the Uktena tribe, calls to the night, howled at her loss as the Uktena mourned their lost brothers. They vowed to solve the mystery of the Bunyip as calls to the night, and her companions learned more of the Aborigines. She realized what a vast store of mystical lore these people possessed. Additionally, the noble Aborigines were being decimated by the influx of Europeans and the accompanying disease and ignorance of the worm-ridden settlers. Calls to the Night undertook a vision quest that took her to Katajuka. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
All right. There she realized the potential of the place, and soon the cairn was built. Over the intervening years, the Uktena of the Sept grew in power and numbers. Calls to the Night and her followers bred with the Aboriginals and dingoes of the outback. The Garu were also determined to aid the Aborigines in their fight to protect sacred ground. In this, the Uktena have been far more successful than they had hoped. Certainly more so than their brethren in America. They have steamed the European push into the outback and created vast areas of land overseen and held by Aborigines, including the land around the Uluru and Karajita. I'm decimating these names. The town of Alice Springs lies nearby, and the tourists are still turned into most parts of Kar- Karajita and Allura, but many of the sacred sites are safe from outsiders. Unfortunately for the Actena, although much knowledge has been gained through the teachings of the Aborigines, the secrets of the Bunyip and the power of the Rainbow Serpent are still lost to the Dream Time. Unlocking these secrets is the overwhelming goal for the current sept. Yeah, and reading about the sept, I'll just summarize for you, is that the members believe that that the place where this cairn was founded is a gold mine of secret secret knowledge of the Bunyip. And there are some members of the tribe, one particularly named Runs with the Ghosts, who believes that Rainbow Serpent still is still hidden somewhere right beneath the mountain area.
Oh, he ain't.
Oh, he ain't. And and no one is allowed in this. Nobody except for Uktena are allowed to be part of the Scepter of the Karen, unless, except for under very extreme, very, very, very extreme, begrudgingly circumstances, in which a group of Garu adventurers say are trying to adventure into the Umbra to find lost secrets of the Bunyip. That they will probably tolerate.
And, well, there you go. You explained it perfectly. Let's go into the Red Talons.
And I didn't even read from the book.
See, there it is. And here you go. Here's what here's what the Tanami Desert looks like, by the way. Yeah, this is what the Actena are living in.
That
And
looks fucking miserable.
Not a single long
awesome
node.
And all those trees are, I wouldn't say fake, but they're artificially there.
Yep.
I
mean, it's a desert. You gotta terraform this.
I love Mad Max. Don't necessarily want to live there.
You gotta have your water delivered to you by truck.
I like the internet historians plan where they dig a giant channel through the middle of Australia and just provide fresh water to the entire desert. Some Weaver shit right there.
Wasn't it supposed to be with like nuclear weapons excavated the canal?
I don't know about that, but like they would have the mining equipment to do so.
Like I knew there was a plan for that in like Egypt or somewhere in northern Africa.
Did that with Panama. And well,
yeah, but this was specifically in northern Africa, specifically to turn it more green with evaporation, so radiological concerns weren't an issue.
All right, Glassworker, how much money do we need to spend for this to happen?
Depends on when.
See, let's
if we're
do it
talking
now.
about like between 1950 and 1980, maybe a couple million. Allensford Peace was pretty big back then.
We will steal all of Klaus Schwab's money and use it to dig this trench through Australia. That's it. That's the premise of our next game.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about Mount Isa. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. This is controlled by the Red Talons. Now you might be wondering, what is Mount Isa? It is not a mountain, it's a city. I say in air quotes because your cities in Australia aren't very big. And who are living here? Homeless, quote-unquote, Red Talons. There is a certain character that you probably read about, Kyle. Rage in the Street. Dan, you met this character.
Funny, I was actually going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Did the player meet the character, or just the character meet the player?
You met this guy at some point. You didn't recognize he was a Red Talon when you first met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You thought he was just a guy tweaking on the side of the road, but no, it turns out he's a Red Talon.
We'll get into more information as to why that is in a minute.
Yeah. And yeah, Rap Red has a little grudge with this guy.
As a resident Red Talon and Wendigo, yes, I understand why.
But pretty much this entire area is just a garrison for the Red Talons because there is a little mining site. Turns out Mount Isa is living off the back of mining. The minute they dig too deep, the minute they start polluting, the minute that humanity starts destroying Mount Isa, you bet the Red Talons are going to swoop in and wipe that entire city off the map. So it's this entire settlement that's being held hostage. They just don't know it yet. It's beautiful situation. I love the Red Talons.
That's going to be a giant fucking masquerade breach, and they're already in some deep shit in this book.
And then lastly,
Masquerade
we
won't
have
matter
the
whether your apocalypse happens.
and then we have the West Coast Protectorate, which is basically the entirety of Perth. Yeah, basically, this is controlled by the Glasswalkers. The Glasswalkers have set up a big damn base here. And what they do, they make money.
Wow, no fighting of the worm going on, and everybody's wondering why this fucking book is so bleak.
Now, here's how you fight the worm. You fight the worm by doing better business than the worm. They're trying to outdo Pentex on a financial battlefield, where they're going to undercut espionage and just do better business than Pentex, eventually forcing Pentex out of the area. That's the plan.
They're also going to abstain any important employees Pentex has.
They're gonna go through. They're gonna do the whole fraternity thing where they take pictures of the Pentex employee having sex with a sheep, and then they post that image on the internet and say, "We will reveal more dirt on you unless you pay us like $10 billion under the table or your entire net worth."
Oh no, I meant more like they just take control of their cars while they're driving and make them run into like a tree at like 100 miles per hour.
No, you could do that too.
Just basically
You can do that
watchdogs them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just remind myself that when Jeffrey Epstein got caught cheating on his wife and the National Enquirer tried blackmailing him, and he did the fucking boss move of, "You can't ruin me if I ruin myself," and he just leaked everything to the press.
And then they killed him.
Including the nudes where he was masturbating with his wedding ring. And yeah, so Jeffrey Bezos, not that good of a guy, but at the same time, you've got big dick energy. I can't hate you.
There's two characters I want to talk about once we're done.
All right. Well, we just got done talking about Seps and Protectorates. Let's go on to characters.
Yes.
Teeth of Titanium.
We gotta bring that guy up at some point.
My favorite Glasswalker.
Why is it that everybody has people they want to talk about, but nobody talked to me about people that they wanted me to talk about?
Kyle, talk about Teeth of Titanium. Bring him up.
Fuck it. I took no notes on him, but I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Pull up his picture and we can tell you about him.
He's
All right,
bulletproof.
cool.
Nothing to lose.
What do you think he is?
Far away, far away.
His name is Teeth of Titanium, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, where the fuck is he?
I think we had one of the Terminators, aka hit scans or whatever you call them. Hit marks.
Yeah.
The Terminator 3 one where it's like a hybrid, and I think they just merged one with him.
Oh, there it
Except
is.
this was a former Red Talon who got captured by Iteration X and was used as an experiment to turn him into a robot. He escapes, sees that he can't really become a Red Talon anymore, so he becomes a Glasswalker. And yeah, imagine this guy coming after you with all the stuff the TX can do.
That would honestly be fucking terrifying, and I kind of love him.
Shoot me down.
He's a Sept leader. What the fuck?
Teeth of Titanium.
So I was going to take his concept and actually make it part of the homebrew for the technocracy section.
Yeah,
I love his card too. His trading card looks awesome. I'm gonna
it's
put
creepy
that,
looking.
It's fucking cool. Look at this.
See,
Here,
you what?
put that in studio
You want
notes.
stats. Let's go over his stats when he's in Kronos form. Strength 9, Dexterity 4, Stamina 8, not counting his armor. Charisma 2, Manipulation 3, Appearance 0, Perception 4, Intelligence 4, Wits 3, Alertness 3, Athletics 3, Brawl 4, Dodge 3, Intimidation 5, Primal Urge 1, Streetwise 3, Melee 3, Repair 2.
This guy's impressive.
Yeah, this dude's a fucking badass.
You forgot to mention he can speak perfect human language in Kronos.
Exactly, because he's got the little voice synthesizer in his neck.
Yep.
He talks like he's got like a voice box and a tracheotomy.
He sounds like Microsoft Sam on Autotune.
I love how his nature is masochist, his demeanor is alpha.
Exactly. Where he likes the pain. I mean, that might be why he enjoys being a Terminator, because he can just take as much damage as he wants, and he can just bounce right back from it.
The
It also
dude's
says
like,
he needs. It says he needs 5 successes to actually frenzy instead of the standard 3, I believe.
Exactly. So we have a sane Red Talon.
the dude
I
is
actually played.
Good.
I actually played in a game where, with Teeth of Titanium actually being an NPC.
that's
Ooh.
fucking sick.
Yeah, like of course the entire time the Galliard was singing that song like Teeth of Titanium.
Oh,
His little entrance music.
Yep, and then and then he got corrupted by the Weaver, and
got droned.
and then all of the Glasswalkers became corrupted. So
He was the nexus of the corruption.
Seems he was.
Yeah,
He's
what?
like a cross between the T-1000 and Jaws from James Bond.
Exactly. And this guy would have the whole flamethrower built into his arm too.
He would, though. It's pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so
So who do you want to talk about?
with the characters that I picked, I do apologize. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of research because I have had a very, very busy week.
Well, we're playing a game in Australia, so we can cover some of this for you too.
That's true. But because we talked about him in Rage Across New York, I wanted to bring up this character just because I think she does the concept so much better. That would be Mother Pasta. Now, with a name like that, you imagine she'd be fairly unassuming. She moved to Australia from Calabria, Italy, with her parents in the late 1940s. A little bit of background about her. Her father found work in the Snowy Mountain scheme, and her family's home was basically just a corrugated iron shed in Jindabyne. She was originally known as Maria Condata, and was sought out by the Garrow, a number of bone gnars who lived amongst the workers there. Sensed that she was one of the tribe. What the fuck are you playing?
Keep going.
is she married to Chef Boyardee?
Well, no, but she was married to Bonar kinfolk. What's funny is that there was a Bonar representative of the Jindabyne Council known as Father Meat and Three Veg, who is also the leader of the large Sydney Bonar Sept. And he basically sort of groomed Mother Pasta to inherit his position. Today she leads the Rock Sept and holds the Bonar chair at the Jindabyne Council. Unbeknownst to all, after her husband died about 5 years prior to the events of the book, her great love of pasta and cooking has been replaced by a growing desire for human flesh, ideally that of small children. She's even gone as far as to practice stalking children as they walk home from school. To this day, she has not, gone out of her way to do so yet, but it's only a matter of time. Although the Shadow Lords hope to exploit her psychopathic nature, and long maintained that the Bonars are unfit to sit upon the Jindabyne Council, though there are suitable successors for her. So far, she's just nodding and smiling, but it's very clear that corruption will be just around the corner for her. She is fucking scary. Look at the fucking portrait, too.
It's going to be that skit from Robot Chicken where Gargamel finally gets to eat the Smurfs and then takes a few bites and then walks over to a trash can and scoops them off into the garbage. That's going to be her when she finally eats a human.
Probably, yes. And then she's going to succumb to Hirano, more than likely.
So this is what I mean by the bleakness of Australia as a setting. We've already established that the ancestors have been pretty crappy people in Australia, from Earl Blaze to Mamu. The people who are in power in Australia aren't that much better. So you've got the sins of the father. And unless the Guru is super young in the story, he's not doing much to make the situation in Australia any better.
No.
Speaking about that, there's a second character I want to talk about, but she's on page 123, part of the story module.
One Diana Wentworth, where you go ahead and read about her, where she is, a vampire.
Yes, a gangrel vampire 12th generation, and she encountered the Silver Fang King of Australia while in wolf form, and they fell in love.
Really?
Joke's on you,
Yes.
buddy.
That's kind of funny.
Yep, and he found out. He didn't care at that point. He just was so in love with her. He's more in love with her than she is with him. And basically, she promised him that she wouldn't embrace or feed on any of the kinfolk, but she's considering making some abominations.
That's not much better. Matter of fact, I think that's
That's
worse.
That's a little devil deal. You are on
Yep.
borrowed time if you make that deal.
Yep. I'm just
Yes.
wondering how. I'm just wondering if she'd actually do it with the Silver Fang King. What's his name?
We'll
Darius
get to this
Winchester is the name.
Yeah, Darius Winchester, one of the few decent surfings out there. He's
Bruh,
not
just
perfect.
Imagine him turning into an abomination.
Oh, good lord.
Him getting fortitude would be the best thing that could happen to him. Where
If
It's-
only
it's-
animalism worked on Garu.
it's that one screenshot from Megamind where Titan gets punched in the face and he just makes the smug face when he gets punched. That's going to
Basically.
be Darius Winchester when you try it. That's going to be Darius Winchester with fortitude.
Yeah,
And-
speaking of sins of the father, the other character I wanted to talk about, older guy, fucking ancient, Finnegal Flashing Claws. He is a
Yes.
Hamadharun Fianna, born in Australia in 1910. He was the youngest family of a working-class Irish family. Despite many years between Finnegal and his father, he always was treated as special, and he found out why. His father was a highly renowned Garrow by the name of Crushes the Worm as Grapes Beneath His Paws. That's a fucking mouthful of a name. Who led the newly established Hunter Valley Protectorate. Finnegal was the only one of his children to express a Garrow gene. And he was groomed to succeed his father as Roy. Finnegal was instilled with reverence for his tribe, guilt at the destruction of the Bunyip, and an overwhelming hatred for Silver Fangs, who had brought over the Irishmen in chains. Okay, based hatred of the Silver Fangs. He took his seat in the Jindabyne Council after his father was killed by Banes in Newcastle right before his eyes. He barely escaped with his life and bears the scars of it even today. And he has fought since then a constant political and physical battle against the Worm and the Silver Fangs. Finnegal's past lives are very strong with him, and he's learned firsthand of the Silver Fangs' infamy. And he also learned at the death of the Bunyip tribe, and paralyzed by the guilt and wrapped up in the feud with the Silver Fangs, he's become just less and less effective with the passing years. He is so set in his ways that he is almost helpless, even though he has seen the Fianna rise to a good bit of power in Australia. The rise of the Glasswalkers alongside them have seemed to have frightened him, and he basically leaves all technological matters to them, despite them being allies to the Silver Fangs, or at least so he considers. It's mostly because the Glasswalkers' advice, it's because of the Glasswalkers' advice that he has not acted sooner to stop the spread of industry in his protectorate. He wants to die in Ireland, but he hasn't appointed a successor, and he makes plans for funeral rites, and his son is an arrogant bastard. So he is about to leave a very poignant seat of power to somebody who does not deserve it, to people that will not, to people that would do anything else but follow his will. And he has just been stuck in a rut. And that kind of describes the leadership of the Garrow in general in this region. He is one of the worst examples as to why no progress is being made in Australia and why the setting is as fucked as it is.
You know who is going to take his place?
Who is?
One Bartholomew wise in the ways of the Worm.
I was debating
not
on bringing
him.
him up, but...
Now, what Dan just said.
Oh, okay.
This guy is an antagonist in our Hunter game.
Really?
He broke a cue stick on my friends.
Yeah, we in the events of our Hunter Reckoning game, we got screwed into working for the Irish mob because our players made themselves known to the Fianna, and it was either get shot in the head or become kinfolk. Those are your two options. So they're stuck working these suicide mission jobs for Bartholomew, and they just lost one of his men, got captured by a black spiral dancer. His response to that was filling a pool cue with a spirit and then breaking it over the backs of two different people in the party.
I mean, you did just hand over Fianna to a black spiral. I don't know what you expected.
We did rescue him in the last session, but Bartholomew is still pissed about the whole ordeal.
Yeah. You don't fucking say.
See, do you want to go over him?
I was going to, but where the fuck did I put him?
You still got his wiki page.
Oh, Wise in the Ways of the Worm. There it is.
The World of Darkness wiki copied this whole thing verbatim. There's no information missing.
Which is what all the wikis should do.
Yeah.
I'll go over him briefly just because I didn't get a chance to sit down and have a good long look at what he's done. He was born in northern Scotland to an Irish mother and a Welsh father. He is just full-blooded Celtic. Immigrated to Australia when he was 16, just before his first change, and had a relatively painless transition. He became I think, I don't remember I'm not remembering what the name of the camp was. They're a rapid reaction force. I forget their fucking name.
Brotherhood of Herne.
Yeah, he's very much a Brotherhood of Herne, even though it doesn't say explicitly. He is doing lightning raids on worm-tainted areas and black spiral hives, retrieve stolen fetishes or imprisoned spirits. But one day, his lust for treasure had gotten the better of him. He disguised himself as a black spiral and raided a silverfang cairn and recovered a lost Fianna fetish. There's a set of silver aeolian pipes that he had suspected were hidden there. And he fought a young silverfang, Amanda Grace of Gaia, and killed her. James died that night, and Bartholomew was born. And he was horrified by the lengths to which his obsession had driven him, and he ceased his active life and retired to solitude in the Blue Mountains. But Bartholomew's passion for recovering that which was lost still drove him, and he wanted to make amends for killing the Silverfang. His mission then was to catalog all the spirits of the Dreamtime, better understand them and get their trust. And he wanders far into the Umbra and employs other Garrow to scout out all they can about the Bunyip and the spirits that served them. And his news of his quest has gone through the Garrow over the years, and the Garrow who discover lost fetishes or encounter new spirits know they'll be rewarded for informing Bartholomew what they find. He has a massive library collection of fetishes and extensive personal knowledge known to many who know him. Very few know about his past and James and his deeds, good and ill, and they've long since been forgotten, all but Bartholomew himself. He's a very interesting character. I quite like him.
Yeah,
so that's why. Yeah, so that's why I took that demon possessed thing.
Because the way I'm running him in a story is that he's more like his James persona in the way I'm running him in Hunter, where he is incredibly zealous and going on taking down the Black Spiral Dancers and the Setites of the area.
Yep.
And he could go and fight himself, but it's a justification. If I'm not delegating, I'm not keeping this war together. I have to be the guy calling the shots instead of the guy on the battlefield, which is why he's sending the hunters off to handle the Black Spirals for him.
Yes.
And he fully expects you to die in these fights, and you just keep surviving.
Jeez,
the tasks you embark on as arbiter are perilous, suicidal. You will die, as every arbiter has before you.
We are being too effective, unfortunately.
Yes.
Where he pretty much just could fight you by himself if he wanted you dead that badly.
Yeah, but he sees you useful. Eccentric gentleman he is. Moving on from that.
We do have...
What's up?
What? You said something?
Oh, I was going to move on to the next one, but if you had another...
Well, we did have one more. You guys read about her in your own time. We had No Irian ni Donile, where she's a really fun, very fun Fianna, but we're not using her in the Hunter game because I wanted to use Bet Hawkeye again instead. And I didn't want to overload us on Fianna in that game.
Yep, there are a lot of Fianna.
And they're all good in this book.
She's a troublemaker and an Arun. That's a good combination.
She's very fun.
Yes, she sounds like it.
If only she had a better name.
No, that's just
that's
a classic Celtic name. Or yeah,
that's a mouthful.
Yep. Noreen Donale. Yeah, Donale. Yep. That's a Celtic name. Okay, moving on from that, I wanted to do an Uctenna because I don't give the Uctenna enough love, really. This is Bathes in Blood, an Uctenna Hamada rune. She grew up as one of the few remaining Conjula Aborigines. Her twin sister was killed by hunters while they were playing near their home. She refused to speak for over a full year. She was mute from her trauma. But then she was found by the Sept and brought into the cairn. And her realization of her true self brought her back into the world. But her hatred would threaten of all who would hate in her world is utterly complete. She's particularly fond of stalking hunting parties and poachers and killing them as violently as possible. She's a very potent warrior. She sees her twin roles as she's both gatekeeper and master of the challenge of Sept of the Waking Dream. She believes it is vitally important. She takes her job very seriously. And she believes it as a measure of her power to hold two important positions in the Sept. She will never break the rules of her challenge. Her tests are always as difficult as she can make them, so that the fewest number of petitioners gain access to the cairn. And she particularly hates the Shadow Lord. She lost her right ear to one in combat. She believes that Runs with Ghosts and Elspeth Nametaker are far too intent on just digging their noses into the Bunyip's history to learn about them, to forget about the sanctity of the cairn. She believes that they should focus more on like the surface level of the battle against the worm and keeping herself safe, but more so just protecting the cairn than actually fighting. And she constantly searches for ways to confront either of them so she can finally beat them in the game, in the challenge, and gain more power over the Sept. She's a staunch isolationist, especially for the Sept of the Waking Dream. That might be a major problem for the Garrow in Australia, especially for a tribe for a Sept that instrumental. He's even beginning to lose respect for Lamarun, who often takes the middle ground instead of baring his fangs and taking the high ground. She despises anybody that would rather, sink their noses into mystery and, than actually defend the cairn, which seems like a bit of a problem because she would be incredible if she could go out into the field and actually fight. She is a rank 3. She's a very, very good fighter. Strength 5, Dex 4, Stamina 5, Alertness 3, Athletics 4, Brawl 4. Fucking broken. And Rage 9. What the hell is that noise?
Oh, damn, all right.
What the hell is that?
What are you talking about?
I heard a howling noise in the back.
Let's see. Well, that's the
like
antenna coming to shut you up.
In addition to that, she also has a these very special shoes that give her an extra soak die and an extra die to her damage.
Oh yeah, I
the ruby
see that.
slippers.
The Kurdicha.
Yeah.
Now, her boss, on the other hand, Jindari, is the reason why she doesn't like all these secrets. Because Jindari, knowing Smile, is this chess master Uctenna. What we're talking about with the Aboriginals getting stolen away from their families, that happened to her. And she has never forgotten about it. Her plan is to steal as many Bunyip secrets as possible in order to use them to, put it bluntly, kill Whitey. And she's getting away with it. Nobody knows what exactly she's up to. And thanks to her wise decision making, a ton of power is beginning to pool into the laps of the Uctenna. She has got an axe to grind. And with that little charming smile, nobody knows just what she's planning. So
I honestly think she's fit to lead. I'm gonna be honest.
she's very smart, but that ulterior motive. She'll get the job done. She'll get the Black Sparrows out, but you're next on the block after that.
More than likely, yes.
See, do you have anyone else you want to talk about?
I've got a couple of others, but I think we're might be running a little low on time. But
Well, let me bring up the last two I want to talk about.
yes,
Let's talk about Vula Koustakitis. Kostakidis. Damn it with these Greek last names. But,
Vulis Kostakidis.
Yeah, we have her.
Yep,
I'm
that's a
bringing her
long
up
face. She's a very
because-
long face.
Now, here's the thing. She's intersexed.
Oh, okay.
She's got a penis and a vagina.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
the
That's
thing
not
is
intersex.
Metis. I see.
that so that's her little Metis deformity is hermaphrodite. And I bring her up because what we mentioned before with the Black Furies, that I keep hearing, you had 5th edition destroy the feminist identity of the Black Furies. And something that Werewolf Den keeps wanting to say is that the Black Furies keep bringing men into the tribe. And the Mind's Eye Theater Guide says that the Black Furies do that, but the Mind's Eye Theater Guide isn't canon. The Mind's Eye Theater Guide also said that men were allowed into the Black Furies only because the Black Furies in that continuity suffer a massive population bomb that forces them to bring in men. So this is why I'm bringing her up, is that if you have anything man-related on you, you will bust your ass and you will make progress very, very slowly in the Black Furies. Men promote very slowly. Intersex, well, you promote, but you gotta work twice as hard. She has the cock and balls on her, and because she's a werewolf, she can't cut that off. She's gonna regenerate that no matter what. So she's this Black Fury who's in a constant state of self-loathing. She busts her ass. The Black Furies tell her that she's tainted. She believes she's tainted, and it just affects her because her nature, penitent. Her demeanor, bravo. She will always be the number 2, and she will never see herself as the hero.
Well,
And-
I'll probably correct you on that. It's not because, you see, it's actually, you'll actually lose rank of actually hiding your Metis deformity.
Yes.
Because what you're actually supposed to do is like actually wear it to show like your actual shame, and hiding it, you actually lose points in like in renown for that. That's why
You lose points right now for hiding the
because you can actually cut, because she could actually cut it off. I mean, that's why we have scars, right? Because like because you can
You need to
regenerate
remove it
battle
with
scars.
silver, if anything.
Yeah, you could actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this character, it can lead to a lot of different conversations, because I bring her up because that, like, once again, it enforces the idea of the Black Furies, but at the same time, you can say, dude, you don't need the approval of the Black Furies. You can leave the Black Furies and join, I don't know, any other pack,
Yes.
any other tribe. You're rank 3, and you've done
They're
enough
Metis,
work to
so
make
that's
to
fine.
become a rank 5.
Basically, yes. She could go to the Glasswalkers or the Uktena. I don't know, maybe. No, do Greeks count?
Yes.
Yeah, she could go to the Uktena and be fine.
They're just dark enough to be part of the Actena.
Yep.
It's like, see, that's the thing. Like, good, because the only reason why that she's a Black Fury is because he's Metis, and even if you're male, Metis Black Furies exists as long as you're Metis.
Yeah, because your mother has to pay for breaking the litany and birthing you.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes to show that the Black Furies, even though they're the feminists, they fight for women's rights, there is still a lot of deep flaws in the Black Furies. A
Yes.
lot of deep flaws.
Right.
They are still my they are my 3rd favorite werewolf tribe still.
At least she's not banana split.
Yeah. Next time we play werewolf, I'm gonna be in a tight pickle. I'm gonna play Stirs the Pot, or it's gonna be a Black Fury, depending on the game.
I don't know. I think it'd be really funny to see you play Stirs the Pot because I really would like to know what his demeanor is.
I would love to join you guys if you do. Because
See.
these Ultimate run in packs.
More than likely, I'll run that game. I don't know what game it'll be, but more than likely.
Rage Cross the Amazon.
Yeah, it probably will be Rage Across the Amazon because I would
We'll
love
do
to
that.
run that game.
We'll do that
Bro, I would
two-party
love to
pack
play it.
idea.
The two what?
I
Well,
just
you know
need a-
what? I saw the book Rage Across the Amazon at that store that I told you about.
Did
I
you
could
buy it?
pick that up
Great.
and read. I might go by and pick it up and read it.
That's fucking tight, dude.
And I was thinking about talking about Sir Nunos, but we gotta hang on to him. We gotta put a pin in him.
Yeah.
He's too important. He's too important to the events of Gehenna for me
Right.
to bring up.
So
instead,
go ahead.
we're going to talk about Monash into the Darkness.
You
Now-
did a lot more homework than I did.
So, Dan,
What's up?
you know how much I've been using Monash. Yep, where
anything,
out of
he looks
all
more-
the worlds the party has met, he's working with the Fianna in the game I'm running, and he's the only Fianna. He's the only werewolf that's nice to the party.
And if you ask me, like he looks more intersex than the other person.
He's a very androgynous man. I made him look like I made him Filipino in the story, and I made him with like the bleach blonde Korean pop hair. And he's got a little bit of eyeliner on. He's a very pretty man.
He looks like it. He looks like an anime protagonist.
He really does. He acts like one too, because this whole shtick is all the stargazers are stupid. I'm the smart stargazer, and I'm going to be the one to redeem my entire tribe.
Oh, more power to him.
That's exactly what he's doing. At rank 2, he thinks he's this smart at rank 2, and he's still in his 20s. So, yeah, definitely big anime protagonist potential here. He kind of reminded me a lot of like Bleach from like Ichigo from Bleach. That's what he kind of reminds me of.
He's gonna be a
that kind of
pirate.
demeanor.
He's too nice to be
And-
that guy.
He's also he also has a seat on the Jimbadine Council, making him, I don't know, the youngest member of that council. And the only reason he's a part of it is because Inanna, a member of the Children of Gaia, vouched for him and got him on a seat on the council. And
Did we
what's
give
his
him the rank
plotline
of
in this
master?
book? He's very interested in the Rokia, and he's trying to get in direct contact with the Rokia.
Please.
The one werewolf who's trying to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe if he survives the events of the Hunter game, he might introduce you to the shark stand.
Yeah, and then the
Is he a
sharks will
surfer or something?
immediately try to eat you.
And he's also trying to find one Joseph Blows in the Wind, a Wendigo who might be dead. We don't know, but Monash thinks he's still alive, and he's trying to find him. And
He's in Arizona.
yeah,
That's funny.
you gotta go all the way back to America to find him.
No, it actually
Or-
says so. Like I'm
Oh,
reading the.
Does
book
it
of
actually?
Cairns
Hang
and
on.
Powers.
Let me take a look.
That guy going for the Rokia, he might end up like that comic.
You
It's-
could
oh,
actually
yeah.
go nothing but chum. Let's see, damn it! There's one more I want to talk about. Fuck it, we're talking about it anyway. Let's talk about Clara Grimson. Oh, sorry, Carla Grimson.
Carla Grimson. Where is she at?
And the only reason I bring her up is because she kind of sort of got her wish. She is a Gea Fenris that is anti-immigration. She says, I want nobody immigrating to Australia. She's not saying this because of nationalism. She's saying that because humans are coming over to Australia, polluting Australia, and she wants less humans there. So she's very tight with, I don't know,
the Red
So-
the Red
Talons.
Talons. Yeah, the Red
Now,
Talons.
did it say illegal immigration or just any immigration?
Just immigration.
Immigration as a whole.
She basically puts the sign up on the shore that says, fuck off, we're full.
So she also has noticed that a lot of her Get kinfolk take this as neo-Nazi and racist ideas. She beats the shit out of them if they start thinking that. Where,
Based.
thank you for reminding the Get that they're good people.
Yes.
And she kind of has a bit of a tense relationship with the Actina, but then again, what Gev Fenris doesn't. The
Also
Actina never forget, never forgive. Now,
I mean, I'm pretty sure the
oddly
Actina
enough,
doesn't. I'm pretty sure the Actina don't want any immigration either. So
nope. They hate white people.
Yep.
Here's the thing with Carla. She is an intelligence build for the Gev Fenris. 5 intelligence, dude.
Oh, fuck. She's like genius level smart.
Along with perception 4 and wits 4. You're not sneaking anything past her.
Okay, the rare... She's quite... Like, usually the Geta Fenris is like the strength build Unga Bunga. But then you have the strength int build Unga, therefore I Bunga.
Huh. I mean, if she's that smart, then maybe she has a point. I don't know. Maybe.
And she kind of does get her wish because you want to know how hard it is to immigrate to Australia?
Probably very difficult.
Because Australia, it's they haven't banned immigration because that's how you kill your economy. If the minute you ban immigration, there goes any sort of way you could have you got money into your country. But
it's not hard for me. I'm pretty sure that if you're Canadian, it's actually much easier because you were both part of the same.
In America, you just need to cross the western southern border, and that's it.
Well,
we're part of the same crown.
Fuck.
Yep. It's just that simple.
No, it's that Canada a Canadian can easily immigrate to Australia because we both worship the same queen or king now, actually. So
by the king.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because Australia is super fucking stingy when it comes to who gets visas and who gets green cards. And
same thing with New Zealand.
New Zealand's even harder to get into.
Oh yeah.
So even though there are black populations, Asian populations in Australia, they're not growing super quickly. And it's because Australia plays a very keen eye as to who's getting into the country.
Except for the Chinese. They just let the spies in 24/7.
Yeah, just come on in. Just bring in the triads.
Why not?
And the tongs.
Because they have money.
It's fucking impossible for the triads to actually operate as they normally do in China. So they come over to America and Australia and do their business.
Yep, basically.
It's fun times.
Yeah.
And now we can talk about the Black Spirals.
Oh, good. I was actually going to talk about one of them. One of them in particular that I saw. Mostly because he reminded me of somebody. Somebody who...
Reminds you of a porn star.
Darren, mate of the worm.
You want a second picture of him?
There's one right there where he's snarling quite meanly.
You've also got this picture.
Where he is just shirtless and he looks like a straight up devil. The fucking horns. Crazy.
Yeah, did you read No End House, the creepypasta?
No what house?
No End House.
I don't think I did.
There is a scene in it in room 6 where the horror is that it's a empty white room with a little girl in it. But occupying the same space of the little girl is a demon that has like a black fur body, completely naked, horns of a goat, snout of a wolf, and they speak simultaneously and move at the same time. That's what Darren looks like.
Oh, that's fucking scary.
Yeah, he looks like a demon from hell when you find this guy.
Yeah. But this dude is fucked up. He is a part of a pack known as the Priests of Pollution. Very nice. He is the product of a rape. His mother was a Black Fury. His father was a Black Spiral. The young pup, after eating his way out of his mother's womb, trotted up to the gates of the Ranger Mind, sensing that the worm would give him a home. Moonscreamer adopted him, and he grew up astonishingly quickly. He is a metis, which his metis deformity is that he's just massive. He unflinchingly danced the spiral and became the strong arm of the Priests of Pollution. Oh wait, no, yeah, I think it's fast aging, not huge size. I was thinking of somebody else. He ages quickly and may only live for another 5 years. He spends much of his time visiting Darwin and using his animal attraction to impregnate rich women and ruin their lives and hopefully provide himself with a Garrow heir. He's quickly become bored because he got sick of torturing spirits, so he decided to start baiting local Garrow, telling them, hey, come fight me IRL, and then he would take off into the brush when they'd arrive in the hope they'll chase him. And then that became, kind of boring, so then, Darren would just kill them. And then he recently heard about the Kerpanga, the devil dingo, and is determined to seek it out. Aware of his impending death and his aging body, he's desperate to find anything that will basically keep him alive. And he's always naked from the waist up. He's incredibly hairy. He wears kangaroo skin boots.
He sounds like one of the children of Nagoid Fomori, being a fertile medicinal.
He's shaped like this. What trailer is that?
That's for Demon House.
Oh, okay.
That's what you see coming at you from the end of the hotel room.
Oh my god, that's fucking terrifying. If I had a Mac 11, the magazine would be dumped.
We fought this guy in the Hunter game, and he did not live up to rank 4. He died super quickly because I was rolling super poorly and Rapid was rolling super well.
That always seems to happen whenever you throw a fucking beefy enemy at us.
Where the thing is that the only character that came out that was any severe, long-lasting injuries was Fox Kitty's priest, Father Evergreen, who got white phosphorus to the throat.
They had to do it. While we're on the subject, should I bring up Moon Screamer?
Yes.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
What?
Darren is a fertile metis. I just want to point that out in case people glossed over it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is.
He's got the demon. He's got the demon nuts.
Yep.
The war basically decided to just ignore the metis infertility.
This guy could make the perfect metis.
There is technically no such thing as an infertile metis physiologically. Guardians of the Cairn explicitly states there's nothing wrong with their gametes. It's something spiritual.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're saying if I kill enough worm, then I could just have a kid of my own then?
Or you could just breed with a breeder bane.
I'm never gonna do that.
Have sex with the demon, Tyler.
No, I've already got a lass, and she's been ordained by Bacchus.
The devil is very sexually seductive.
Who knows?
So is the girl that Bacchus is found sexually attractive. So you know what? I'm good. I'm alright. I've got everything I need.
What if Bacchus is just an evolved breeder bane?
But
he became good.
But he's wild though.
Yeah, he's very wild.
Yeah,
you break away from the devil.
So, move. Well, I mean, that's what Great Octana did, so that makes sense. Moon Screamer.
Moon Screamer, the main villain of the module.
Yes, she's fucking gnarled up looking. He's gnarled up looking.
Dan.
Fucking.
Keep this in mind, Dan. You're fighting this guy at some point in the game.
He is the sept leader of a Ranger Hive. He is the Hive leader. He's a rank 5. So he is fucking scary to fight. His kinfolk parents raised him according to the strict rules of their religion. His childhood was punctuated by regular beatings, reinforced guilt, and long periods of loneliness. The change overtook him. Moon Screamer killed his parents, laughing insanely at his madness, conducting his life in cold, rational manner. He appeared unchanged by his initiation rite. If anything, becoming more methodical, unlike most Black Spirals. He leads the small but powerful Ranger Hive, the Priests of Pollution, based in the uranium mine in the Kakadu National Park. He is a cold intellectual that have welded the usually disorganized Black Spiral dancers into a dangerous, efficient force. Their mission is to recruit Kakadu spirits in the service of the worm by capturing and torturing spirits dwelling in the Hive's bond, which is basically what Darren's job is. They have been met with some success. Their ambition is that he believes that even more powerful Nabarkun, the lightning spirit, may be corrupted. The small pack keeps to itself. It avoids the workers who live in the mine. The inquisitive workers will just vanish, and nobody questions it. The Ranger Hive is controlled by Pedtex, which the pack cooperates with. Moon Screamer, though safe inside the heavily guarded Ranger Mine, harbors a paralyzing fear of the Bunyip. Ever since he stared in the face the worm became a black spiral, he believed that the Bunyips still live. Sometimes Moon Screamer believes he hears the barks of the thylacines echoing across the outback. His paranoia is a closely guarded secret. 3 other pack members are concerned that his fear may affect his ability to complete the mission, but that remains to be seen. He is actually not very strong, but he is very charismatic, very manipulative, and very intelligent. The only one who outclasses him in intelligence is, I think, not Menashe, Tinjaderi.
Yeah.
Tinjaderi outclasses him in intelligence.
In the brain game.
And he carries Grey Flank's heart as a fetish.
Yep. We kept that body for that long. Well, with her name being Grey Flank, do you think it was called she was named it because she flanked people, or just because her ass was that big? Because the bikes, the bike spells did stuff to her dead body.
I think her name was Grey Flank because she had gray fur, my man.
See, and a big ass, right?
God fucking damn it. Okay.
You got flank in the name.
I thought the flank was the side of the wolf.
Let's see. There had to be something that convinced
Victor
Wormbear to go after
join.
his own sister.
He says if we want to keep it professional, then he won't join. But if he wants to come in, like we said, I'm doing the best I can myself.
Yeah.
You know what? He can switch with me. I'm gonna head out.
All right, no worries.
Get out of here, damn.
We've got
Okay.
2 other black spirals.
See you
I
later.
don't know if you want me to necessarily talk about them though.
I'll handle it.
Okay.
Now, Dan left right before we talked about this chick. Sister Mary McMartin, aka Cavorts in Blood. This is the last boss fight we just had in Hunter the Reckoning. Was against her. And she has been the current arc villain of the Hunter game. I did make a small change to her name. I changed her name to Mary McLean, but that's just because it rolled off the tongue a little bit easier. She has 2 personalities. She's 2 people in one body. The first half is a slut who just goes around, sleeps around. She has no respect for her own body or the body of anyone else. She's just doing this for her own pleasure. The other half is this Dark Messiah who believes that Moon Screamer isn't doing enough for the worm and that she can usurp his position and become the Dark Messiah of might and magic in favor of the worm, ultimately delivering the death blow to Australia that will turn into an irradiated hellhole where nothing will ever live or prosper again. That's her character.
Holy shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
Vic.
And she's a Galliard,
Hello.
by the way. So, hello, Lieutenant Sec. You're back in the game. Our favorite Malkavian just climbed his way through the air vent. Now he's here.
Yep.
I'm nervous. Hi.
We're just talking
I
about
gotta
the
get my
characters right
jaws
now.
off.
We're talking about hoes.
See, Ed, we're getting your
Hose.
breeder bane right here, except she's also a
Yes.
dark messiah of the worm.
I was running through the 6 with my hose. You know how that shit goes.
Get some studded boots,
She
some
has-
hose, some diamond phone, roll up my
Bros
crown.
be-
They
For
must have
hoes.
really loved Sister Mary because she's got 3 different pictures.
Yeah, she
throughout the
does.
book.
Look at that.
You got those 3
Send
faces,
me.
but on top of that, there's one of her like sticking her leg out from behind a corner, seducing a man, and then another one where she's in her nun attire, holding like a worm monster baby in her arms.
Says the Mary, you're
Yeah,
trying to
baby.
seduce me.
Yes. So that's what she does because she's got mind speech. So what she does is that she starts communicating with you telepathically, and she'll give you little suggestions, getting you horny. Eventually, you go over, follow the slut personality, and then after she's done with you, the Dark Messiah takes over and then renders judgment onto you.
This is one of
No.
the excellent situations in which I will Tommy gun left click to skip dialogue.
Now, here's what I'm doing with her in Ridge Cross, Australia. Manash Insta Darkness, he's dating Mary. in our game. And how that works is that one of the faces, one of the personalities, the slut personality, emits no aura of the worm. You use Sense Worm on her, it won't go off. And that's because that half didn't dance the Black Spiral. The Dark Messiah half did, as the worm's little workaround on that.
That's
so
weird.
She manages to infiltrate the Fianna, seduces Monash, and almost convinces him to dance the Black Spiral. If it wasn't for Gary's character Bentley using the vision powers that the Hermit has, he would have done it. But, thank you, Gary, for being the best player at the table.
Gary's a fucking G, man.
And as of right now, we've saved Monash, but Mary swapped personalities in the middle of the fight and has convinced my players that she's not evil, she's just being possessed. And that she's temporarily lucid and is asking for help when, Black Spiral's going Black Spiral.
Yes.
So I've got many plans in store for her. I've really enjoyed playing her. She makes her a very good antagonist. And last guy we got is just an asshole, Pustulant Claws, where I'm imagining this guy's got acne across his entire body.
Yep.
I'm imagining his claws, his fingernails are also just constantly dripping with pus.
That's disgusting.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's just a nasty teenager born in a broken home who tortured animals for fun, and then he got discovered by the BSDs. He did the dance with his eyes closed. He never completed the ritual, meaning that this guy can be redeemed in your games.
Wait, it says he's a Metis, not a Hamid.
Yeah.
He is a Metis. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said he grew up in a home.
Yeah. He's one of those. Let me pull this up, because I'm pretty sure he was raised with a normal family.
Yeah, it was probably like Darren, the product of rape and then abandoned.
Because
kind of. Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah. You were saying?
Oh, kind of makes me think with my Metis character Duncan. I kind of had the idea that, long story short, he kind of has a somewhat happy life right now with Children of Gaia kinfolk or something like that, so he knows what it's like to be in a domesticated setting, essentially.
I got it.
Yep.
Long story short.
Got it.
Yeah, so surprise.
Yeah, I pulled up his page right now. Yeah, he was raised in a home.
Surprise,
So he's one
Bluey
of those
wasn't made into a gore fiend.
Yeah, he just got dumped on somebody's back door and then walked away.
Probably.
And he's also got fragile claws, so I'm imagining every time he strikes with his claws, it rips off and then just pus and blood jets off his broken finger. So
it's like Mari's bee claws that she shoots out, except
it's infected.
Pus and poison.
Yeah.
And
he's just gross. Everything about is gross.
And I thought my acne was bad in high school. Jeez.
Yeah, because it's not demonic acne where you're just completely covered head to toe in lube. And
I imagine he smells disgusting.
So he's got that body odor smell where he just covers it with Axe.
Oh my god, I know a dude at work like that.
Don't.
He smells like Christian Weston Chandler.
Fuck.
God.
Gonna make everybody in the chat throw up, bro.
Other men dance the Black Spiral.
PTSD.
Sometimes I close
man.
my eyes, I see the worm inside my eyelids.
The only time he'll see the worm is when it's in the epicenter of a nuclear bomb. He can't suppress the flash with his eye, the lid's closed. He'll see it through it.
He'll sear his eyes off.
I know what you're referencing, Ed, dang it.
I'll stick my hand
was
into my mother's
literally
publicity.
One of the Black Spiral dancers in When Will You Rage, the last story, was literally one that saw the first nuclear test. Became a Black Spiral dancer by seeing the worm.
See, he was staying next to Oppenheimer and everything.
No, it's more like the distance. I think he's the The one that a certain perfect metis kills. Because he
Got it.
betrays the black bottle dancer hive he was with, I think.
Got it.
The final novel. But yeah, that's the
Ah,
one.
okay. All right, I get you now. Let's talk about what else lives in Australia. You want to talk about mages, or do you want to talk about vampires first?
I feel like vampires might be a little interesting because there isn't a whole lot of places to hide during the day.
Okay, so let's begin with the Giovanni,
Mamma
Where-
Mia.
Pizzeria.
Favorite.
where, as we discussed before, the glassworkers just let the Giovanni just walk in. They came with the glassworkers. I mean, it's our business partner from Italia. There's nothing wrong with this guy, right? He just wants to cause the events of Ghostbusters to happen.
Are you sure they weren't blood bonded and dominated into letting them tag along?
That could be. I mean, what was in that tomato paste?
You'll know till you try.
Or
I've been
hey,
talking
maybe
to
they
a-
would have been puppeted by some wraiths.
I've been talking
The
to a lot of
Giovanni
New York
controlled.
Italians lately.
Oh God, I hate that you mentioned putting blood in tomato paste because I think I remember hearing something from the internet. I think it was Reddit about like some crazy psycho woman put like her hoo-ha blood in her boyfriend's pasta or something. It was
Ugh.
awful.
This is the grossest episode yet.
Yeah. I'm just saying hoo-ha because it's awful.
Commander Hoo-Ha?
Yeah. The hoo-ha.
See. We could also say that the Setites are in Australia with a vengeance. Because
Oh no.
hey, a little isolated community out in the middle of the ocean. Interpol's not gonna find us here. Let's sell some drugs. And so you've got this gigantic drug trade run by the Setites in Australia. Where
Lovely.
Wait.
Yeah.
It says in here that the Glasswalkers are working with the Setites and Giovanni in a three-way alliance. What the fuck?
yes, because they're buying the drugs from the Setites.
My God.
That's what it. See, it's the whole interaction goes, "Hey, you're with the worm. We're gonna kill you." See? Excuse me, my brother. I got this cocaine for you. Oh, you do? Oh, let me see if I got any cash on me. See, how much you charge for? 200 an ounce.
Basically.
That's how it plays out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The Setites got a lot of good stuff to sell. You can buy anything from the Setites.
I'm only getting Zaza from them, and it better not be laced. I'm gonna be fucking pissed if it
It's
is.
like
Top
cocaine in
shelf
it, like those British
Zaza
do.
interrupted my circadian rhythms. This shit ain't
There's
nothing to
also-
me, man.
You're talking. You have the Dracula Flow Setites somewhere in Australia.
Please.
I want a Setite named Dr. Feelgood.
There probably
That-
is one
yeah.
already.
Probably. He's gonna be in
Alright.
Rage Across Miami. He's gonna be in Miami by night now.
See,
Nice.
Who else do we have? A big damn Alcavian population. believe
Yay,
it?
let's go! Shit!
Vic's day
There it
got
is.
infinitely better.
With the
Yo!
Anarch Revolt, a bunch of Alcavians and Bruja left for Australia. And eventually, to summarize a long story short, nobody could stand being around the Bruja anymore. So they got chased out by the Malkavians and the Zamichi who lived up here.
Oh shit!
Yep. We've got Zamichi down here too, if things couldn't get any worse.
You
And-
know, two heads are better than one.
And as usual, you've got Nosferatu down here too. Where what's a vampire city that doesn't have Nosferatu in it?
Bro, they're cool as hell.
One without a
Jerusalem.
working sewer.
Yep.
One without a working sewer system large enough to accommodate them.
See.
Physically, as a
Cave mines,
humanoid.
cave complexes, abandoned cave mines.
You got some sort of complex.
I don't know.
And specifically in Melbourne, you've got a decent sized Toreador population.
Ah,
Or,
fuck me, damn it.
Or you used to until the Bruja ruined it.
I figured they'd be
Ah.
in Sydney with the Opera House.
It would be, but I guess it doesn't fit their aesthetics. They're looking for something a little bit more them, so to speak.
I guess.
Oh god.
I don't know what's in
who's in
Melby, so I
Perth?
couldn't say.
Who's in Perth? You remember that hermetic wizard we mentioned before?
Yes.
So James Sterling, the reason he's still alive is because he's not a hermetic, he's a Tremere.
Oh.
What the fuck?
How about that?
Yep. Yeah, it turns out that's where that was going. So guess what? There's a gigantic Tremere chantry in Perth that you will never get rid of. Too big. It grew too much. And lastly, in Sydney, you've got 40 vampires down here. Majority of them are Toreador. The other majority are Caitiff. So, yeah. Toreador and Tribu live here.
Oh,
So
Oh,
far,
so
that's
the
good.
Slaanesh.
Yes. The we kidnap 50 people, put them in a juicer, and then bathe in their blood. That kind.
Tomato paste.
Oh, it says they also participated in the Black Spiral Dancer hives allegedly in their procreation rituals.
Yes, because
But seems like they get along pretty well.
Mary and Darren have sex that well. Once you go Black Spiral pussy, you don't go back from that.
Oh my god.
It's the leading
Man,
cause
why
of
is Australia horny?
is
'Cause there's nothing to
gross
fucking
and
do
cold.
out there. It's
Because
hot all the
everything's
time.
so-
There's just desert everywhere. You got
Because
bored
it's so
easy.
Build
deadly.
houses.
I mean, it's so deadly that you have to procreate early and often to have any of your offspring survive to procreate.
Bro, Eden, I'm clinically dead. I can't even make kids if I wanted to.
The man is fertile until the day he dies, and Victor's already dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
See, not even the progenitors can help you on that one.
All right, you in the
Speaking of the
club mod.
progenitors, speak to the progenitors. There's already Bunyip running around. They're back. They just have no spirits.
Yep.
They are ever so slightly worm tainted because the progenitors might have gotten that DNA sample from Pentex. Maybe
Uh-oh.
got that sample from Pentex.
Or
I had a little
some,
rite of purification here. It'll be fine.
Or it could tie into the homebrew if they got it from some breeder banes that tampered with it.
When the Galliard being the rape spirit now.
And we do have that in 3.5 edition that it was the progenitors that got the sample of Bunyip DNA.
Yeah, because in Progenitor's book, there's just a picture of dinosaurs and Bunyip in the background of one of their labs. They're made. They're alive. The children of Gaia have been wasting their time with
Wouldn't
this
surprise
Seekers
me.
of Lost Tribes camp.
Wouldn't surprise me if a cuckold bane snuck in and altered the samples. That's actually one of the plot hooks I have for them in the homebrew.
the cockroach.
No, the cuckold bane. You know, like
the
cuckoo bird, where it puts its own offspring inside the nest of another bird. Well, instead, it's like the literal DNA equivalent.
And I forgot to mention Pentex in this.
Yeah, but
right.
so we're gonna save the best for last. We get to talk about all the reasons why Australia's fucked.
See, well, it's because they're working on. There's nobody in particular to talk about with Pentex. I mean, you have a few executives, but Project Blight is what they're working on down here. One of their many plans to destroy the world.
Yes.
Where with a name like that, guess what it is?
It's a plague.
See, there's something I'm being reminded of with it. Did you ever play the Sega Genesis game, The Ooze?
I don't think I did. No.
I never
Where
heard
was-
of it, unfortunately.
It was a creepy game for the Sega Genesis, where it's a guy who discovers that the company he works for, the toxic waste company, is planning on destroying the world through pollution. He gets found by his boss. He gets injected with ooze DNA, and his dead body is flushed down the toilet, and then he comes back as this ooze monster.
That's
that's
kind of
kinda
fucked
cool.
up.
Of a revenge story.
Because I remember that game was on the Sonic Mega Collection, and I said, "Ooh, the ooze, what's that?" And I played it, and it was super fucking freaky for a Sega Genesis game.
Yeah, Sega Genesis
like-
was just nuts, bro.
There were some like fucking creepy ass games in there too, like the Immortal and Chakan the Forever Man.
I never played the Immortal, no.
See, that's a hard ass game if you ever get your hands on that.
I might have it
Mainly
on
because you
like
have
the Steam release of the Sega Mega Collection.
I mean, it's never going to get re-released. Just go ahead and get an emulator of it.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with doing that. You can't convince me it's a crime.
If they're not
Well,
officially supporting it, I mean, even Gabe Newell himself was like, if the pirates are providing a better service than you, then you need a better service.
You wouldn't
Exactly.
download a car. Yeah, no shit. I would download a car.
I mean, you can
you
now
kidding
with
me?
Tesla. Probably can. Just rip the
Yeah.
firmware off of their site and then just chuck it on a tablet, duct tape it to the console, and you're good.
Eden,
So-
I got a commission for you. Please, steal the Tesla stuff for me, please.
can't.
Is
Not that kind of glass walker.
I can,
As-
probably,
well.
if I tried.
what? So what is Project Blight? Genetic mutation. That's what the plan is.
Isn't that wild?
You're going to turn no, like cancer mutation.
Oh,
You
no,
drink
fuck
the milk
that.
from a cow and it gives you cancer, like that. So
Why?
I'm not saying spike protein, but that's what it is. That's ultimately what the plan is. And next to him you have Jamina Christensen, where never mind. I'm not really going to go into detail about him. Just know that's that technocracy's contact.
Should I
in
put the
Pentex.
fucked up picture of the fucked up animals in the screen?
Yeah,
This is what we're dealing with.
yeah. You see the cow.
Yeah. I don't know what that
Bruh,
is,
that
but
cow.
it looks like it exists in never-ending ceaseless agony.
Like, you look at the pictures of this book,
That
and the
cow has
other
extra
is
nipples on its udder. That's
Well,
great for
the-
production.
the other is just fucking filled with worm beast in Australia.
Yep.
I don't see the image.
It's so
Here, I'll
Here we have-
copy it.
It on the screen. The entire area has just been conquered by black sparrows. This might as well just be black sparrow dancer territory.
It is, basically.
Damn,
Yeah.
this makes me think of almost like the ending of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
It
No,
basically
no, it
is.
Ugh.
And so, yeah, as it turns out, Australia's fucked, and nobody we've talked about is actually doing that much to further their goals because everybody's too wrapped up in their own agendas to actually do any progress with this place.
Isn't
See-
that just the plot of Fallout?
Basically,
Yes.
yes.
Also, pathologic
See,
and
at least in Rage Across the Amazon, they're fighting. It's a long, arduous fight, and the worm is playing dirty. But they're still fighting. Here, it's fucked. This Australia might already be a lost cause.
And in terms of mages, you don't have that many. You've got hermetics, the same ones that got their asses chapped by Sterling after he turned into a Tremere. And the other group you have down here are the Dream Speakers, where they're working hand in hand with the Actina as usual. But I don't think it's going to be enough with Australia. Because, yeah, the Dream Speakers, that's still a mage is still a mage by the end of the day. But as fucked as Australia is as a setting, can one convention make that much of a difference, especially if you have the entirety of the technocracy also sitting in Australia, backing Pentex?
Probably not.
So, yeah, this is why I say this is the bleakest setting, because Australia is just fucked in the world of darkness.
Even more fucked than Russia.
Oh, Russia, their issues haven't come up yet because you've got Vasilisa running around, but Absent Milliard is yet to show his face. There is no antediluvian, but stuff down here is just so systematically fucked you can't come back from it.
No, they're pretty well and out screwed because Pentex has just been doing all this shit. The Garrow have done fuck all except feel bad about the Bunyip.
And there is one more mage convention down here, the Verbena. Yay, we're saved. The Verbena are here.
Okay.
You talked about them in the Gangrel episode, and I'm just like, oh yeah, by the way, you mentioned me. That gave me a good chuckle at work, not gonna
Yeah,
lie. But man,
they're the Black Furies if they hated black people, basically.
Fuck.
And
just take out the black and black Furies.
It's just
White
exactly,
Fury.
they're just Furies.
Yes.
Furies, pink Furies, purple Furies, brown Furies. I don't know.
But
Magenta
But here's the
Furies.
thing.
Yeah.
We're not done mixing spots yet. We've got one more group
Demon
in
Fallen.
Australia.
Demons.
No, not
Wraiths?
demons.
Oh, hunters.
Kuei Jin.
Changelings.
Oh wait. Yeah,
Oh.
they're that close enough. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you remember what we said about the Chinese triads? That is happening with the Kuei Jin in this book.
I don't know if that makes the situation better or worse.
They're directly under the thumb of the Ama Kings, so it makes it worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Australia's not getting better anytime soon. If you want a game where you're going to bust your players' balls because you're not going to get any help, your contact's background and allies' background are going to go down the toilet, and you're up against this many BSDs, vampires, and Kuei Jin, you might as well throw in the towel. You're not going to solve the events of Australia by the end of that game.
No, you might you might put a chip in the armor, but that's it.
It's going to be an exercise in endurance to see, even though the situation is more than likely hopeless, are you still going to grit your teeth, dig in your heels, and fight to the last man?
What choice do you have?
Because even if it's pointless, you still have to do it as your job as a Guru. Nobody else is dying fighting these guys. You got to fight as if you will overcome someday, because you just might. It might not be today, but you could pave the way for someone else to succeed.
We need to clone Gogol Fangs and send them to Australia.
Exactly. we do like the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where you just make a whole bunch of Stormtrooper Gogols.
Yep. Although I
Fortunately,
imagine the
your,
iterations will
technocracy
just get
clones.
weaker over time.
That or the technocracy is the one making the clones. You don't know it until it's too
They
late.
probably are.
Yeah,
Wait,
probably.
Gogo Fang's Age of Sigmar? What?
Shut the
No,
hell
no,
up.
Rage Across the Amazon.
Yeah, Johnny gets what I'm saying.
I
we're
don't.
we're hearing
oh,
what he's
God
hearing
damn
now. He's been dementing us beneath the table this entire time.
Well, yeah,
Bro,
that's why I
I'm-
sneezed during the Hunter episode. I was accidentally spreading it. Accidentally.
Dude, I'm already
Quotation.
sleep deprived. I don't need more dementation.
Bro, we know Victor's Metis character might as well be a Malkavian abomination.
What the f-
I mean,
Nah,
White collar blood.
Duncan's a sweetheart, bro.
yep. He just got treated like shit because he was a Metis Fianna.
He's going to open the
Yeah.
bag of Jolly Ranchers in front of me and point out that over half the bag is watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Fucking.
Nah.
When's the road would break his nose for that?
Nah,
Bro, I love the blue
Duncan's a
raspberry flavor.
gentleman.
No, the blue raspberry flavor slaps.
See,
Yeah, Duncan's a gentleman, so don't worry. He's the complete opposite.
He's a good
of me,
Southern gentleman.
Yeah,
and
technically.
see, now let's end the episode with an idea. Kyle, if you were to have a character in Australia, who would you go for? Who would
I
you
think
make?
Kendi Masimba had become his own character at this point in time, but I did say a long time ago. I'm not sure. I would like to play an Actena, make like a real cerebral
setting.
character, because I feel like a lot of the problems here start in the Umbra, and that's where I mean, as much as I would love to go balls out and fight the worm wherever it breeded, wherever it dwelled, it's already there all around you. But I think if you can restore a certain spiritual link, then you might be able to improve the fight on the ground, or just
And
beat
you'll
somebody
get to-
trying to recruit more people into the fight.
You'll get to play a simple savior.
I don't see any other choice. You kind of have to, otherwise you're just going to be fighting an endless tidal wave.
You get to play as this guy. Good evening, brother. We're over here at Simple Savior's Aboriginal Revolution. He gives fellow people the power to kill whites, and that's your character.
Basically.
We can kill anyone we want.
Either that, or I could just go full eco-terrorist and play a Red Talon. Because I feel like eco-terrorism is warranted in this degree.
You don't
All
think
you'd
they've
have
done
to
enough
do-
damage to this region?
All you'd have to do is just cut everyone's or sabotage everyone's cars, then cut off the water supply to the town. Watch everyone die of thirst.
That sounds
Yeah,
good
which
to
is-
me. Why don't I
Which,
just
which
do
is what?
that?
Yeah, it's basically raging the
Ryan!
streets. He's back
Ryan's back.
Hey,
for the
Ryan!
very end.
Hello.
Ryan.
He's alive.
You good,
See-
buddy?
Are we still recording or no?
Yeah, we
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
We're near the tail
Alright.
end of the episode.
Alright.
We'll keep it on
I'll
the
tell you
table.
later.
Alright.
And
a good night.
Let's see, and if you were Eden, who would you run in Australia?
I don't know. There's some interesting concepts. Hmm.
Thinking about this, because for me the answer's clear.
I'm thinking
But-
a glass walker just out of his element in the middle of the outback trying to look for water. Like,
Ooh.
that's how it would just start. Like, the introduction would just be him lost in the outback just looking for water, not a technology spirit in sight,
You to play as Buster
Oh.
Scruggs.
maybe. Or maybe something like Darius, being the pet of a vampire.
Ah, yeah.
Because the picture of him has him carrying the vampire on his back in lupus form with a collar on his neck.
Actually, Ed and I really like your idea. Like a glass walker out of his element, lost in the outback after a raid gone wrong. It would be
Yep.
like a real, like, Jason Brody Far Cry 3 sort of story.
You wake up in the middle of the desert. You think you traveled forward in time. You ask Al Gore, what ocean did this used to be?
Basically.
All the time you're tormented or egged on by black spiral dancers, kind of like Voss from Far Cry.
That'd be kind of neat, actually.
See, and Victor, let me take a wild guess as to who you'd be. The secret White Howler.
Nah, I was kind of, I don't know, like I'm just making stuff up on the spot. But when I think of Australia, I think of two things: the band Men at Work and the Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, that
So,
works.
I guess a optimistic character. I guess. I mean, I don't know
Probably
what
use a little
tribe
bit of
or
that.
anything. I don't know.
Chanagaya.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. And for me, the answer's clear. Fiona
Really?
is because the Fiona down here just won't be left the hell alone by everyone just trying to encroach in their territory. And this is Black Spiral Central. This has got the most Black Spirals in it next to Scotland. So the Fianna are constantly busy here looking for Black Spirals to put into the ground.
Right to say to
Yes.
that.
Because you, at some point in your game, your Fianna player will have this massive showdown with one of the 4 Black Spirals we mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
If he dies,
And-
he dies.
And I'm out of ideas. That's it for Australia. If anyone else has any idea, say it now.
I really wish there was...
Um,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I wish it was Australia by night.
There
Playing
kind of is,
Octavian
but
on a
it's mostly
vision
Sabat
quest.
and it's all Sabat and Anarchs.
Yeah, it is. I just wish
Not
there was
Octavian
more of
on
a
a
fight
vision
going
quest as well.
on. Like, in the book, there doesn't... It just seems like Pentix has already won in this region.
They have. You won't look at Australia today.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
But even
fires,
still, it's just
fucking
like...
much-
It's
fucking
just
Muscle
fucked.
sucks.
It's
Pentex
really...
always wins in the end.
Not
Well-
necessarily.
Well, until the Australian people rise up and realize that Agenda 2030 is a really stupid idea, it's not going to get any better.
Yep.
So, yeah, we've already lost New Zealand and we've already lost Australia IRL.
Honestly, I feel like Australia might be one of those vampire and werewolf crossover games, just because of how integrated Glasswalkers are with the Giovanni and Setites.
Right.
That's true as
But
well.
got buying Coke from the Setites and then sharing it with the Giovanni.
Like
There you
kids,
go.
like kids at a lunch table.
Yep. I'll give you a spirit. If you give me
Well,
some cocaine, sure.
Sounds like a good time to be a made man.
I
Hey.
wonder, would Giovanni try to, like, I don't know, command the bunyip spirits?
Yes.
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 100%.
Yes.
That shadow of a doubt.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
the
could
ma-
you have like a story hook where there's like a small sect of glasswalkers like secretly trafficking in bunyip spirits to the Giovanni? While the
Hey
rest of
man,
the
we
tribe
got
is
the shipment
aware
of bunyip spirits you were looking for. It's in the back of the car over there. All right, how much will you be paying me in cash or card?
Bitcoin.
The glasswalker would pay in Bitcoin, actually.
No. Oh,
You
God.
paying me in decimals? What the fuck is this, kid? I don't know what I'm looking at.
No, see, it's a part of the blockchain. Oh, yeah. Buy his bunyip spirit by 100 Dogecoin.
or the NFT monkey.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
See-
good.
I could also see
Bored
the
Ape
Giovanni
Club.
trying to command a ghost to use puppeteering on some of the glasswalkers, or even using the bunyip spirits for that.
They got
Have
a recipe
themselves
for
a pet
disaster.
glasswalker. Yep.
Was that? Well, thankfully they lost all their money in the year 2000.
Nice.
The
Just
entire
broke.
the familia went bankrupt, and then the Harbingers of Skulls popped up and said, "Whoa, what's up with it, motherfucker?"
Wait, I just had a thought.
Sure
Since
thought.
Johnny, you said earlier there aren't any moon bridges in Australia, so technically wouldn't the Silent Striders be or have a big presence here running between cairns carrying messages?
Yeah, there is a guy in here, Greg Two Tongues.
Ah.
Yeah, he looks like a monkey. He's got the very a very strange looking mouth when his character portrait.
The trouble is, the game was rigged from the start.
In fact, he looks like Shade from Borderlands. See,
Ed, and share
The-
the,
the
idea
amazing-
of the Silent Strider.
he's got amazing foresight.
Johnny, shut the fuck up and let Ed talk.
Oh, he can talk.
Oh, sorry.
Just putting it out there.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like a full idea for it.
Yeah, Greg looks like this.
Oh. He's kind of gross looking.
Yeah, he literally looks like this in his
Well,
artwork.
technically, I do have an idea. It's just I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like because I know in one of the according to Wire Report, there's like a gift called Cassandra's Blessing. Basically, you could use it on the Silent Strider, and basically what it does is no one will believe what you say. So basically, if there's like urgent news about an attack, use it on the Silent Strider while he's not noticing you, and then no one will believe there's even an attack taking place.
Oh, that's messed up.
That's fucked.
All right.
I was thinking it's going to be in the homebrew too, because I had some other gifts. So basically, like well, I'll talk about it in like the Kinfolk episode, I guess. But basically, the gist is you have an infiltrator be the Galliards, tell a bunch of stories, then spam that gift on whoever tries to contradict him. So basically, a Black Spiral Dancer says that the Gyru are meant to like serve the worm and whatnot in their stories. The guy in Gyru say, "What the fuck is this?" He slaps him with Cassandra's Blessing. No one believes the guy that speaks up that says, "No, that's bullshit. We're servants of the Gaia." And that's how you just corrupt the entire Cairn.
I don't know if it quite works like that. Do you have to make a contested roll against that?
Maybe.
We could just lose the roll.
Possibly.
Easy as that.
But all it takes is one guy speaking up and you winning that role, and suddenly the rest of the Cairn believes what you're saying because they no longer believe they serve Gaia.
That would.
The
I
worm
think
gets
that.
very creative.
Yeah, fucking. Honestly, I feel like this
Alright.
would be a good setting for a Freak Legion game, if anything.
They play as a group of Fomori slowly realizing what's happening to themselves.
Yep, basically.
Be
You
like
gotta
a
trust
bunch of
if you can
Garu
snap out of it.
Fomori that got affected by Project Blight.
Yeah, probably. That would be a fucked session.
You gotta see if you can shake that possession before it fully takes over your body.
Yep.
Or try to find a way after it takes hold to not fully decay.
Yes. somehow still be you at the end of the day.
The end of the game would basically be like the ending of The Mist, where like only one party member manages to find a cure.
Or they don't even find a cure, they just have to find a way to serve the worm. Or just to serving the worm.
Or they do as a fucking worm baiter.
Or like
And
in I have
Let's
no
jump off a cliff.
Yep.
like
Drown yourself
Yeah.
in a lake, end up corrupting the lake.
Or Vic, what were you saying?
like in I have no mouth, I must scream. The whole point of it is that 5 people are tortured for all eternity by a supercomputer named Am.
Yep.
And they're trying to find a way to essentially off themselves, you know.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm allowed to actually say that, but basically, is it alright if I spoiled the ending of the book?
I mean, it's how
no-
many years old at this point?
Yeah.
68,
You're good.
1968. Anyway, basically, the narrator, I forgot the narrator's name, succeeds
Ted.
in killing Ted. Yeah, Ted succeeds in killing. What was it? It was Benny the ape dude, and then some other guy.
Benny, Gorstor, Ellen, and Nimdok.
I think it was Benny and Nimdok. Like he succeeds in killing those two, and
Yeah.
then Ted is the one that gets turned into the weird slug monster at the end or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it. And that's the quote, I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep, you tried to escape. You saved some of them in death, but not all of them.
you know what's really funny is that all it takes to destroy Am is a single solar flare or a moth landing on a circuit board.
And
Yep,
he can't
but the
exactly
problem
build
is-
anything because he's the source of destruction.
But the problem is that the people are in the computer. They're literally in the data of the computer.
So they're simulated people, like simulation theory.
That's fair.
Yep.
Also, Am isn't,
It's-
but you know, that's fine.
Just your brain. All right. I believe we've hit time for this episode.
Yes.
Yep.
Find a way to try and hold on to faith. There isn't
Yeah,
much
yeah,
in this
tell-
desolate land.
Tell us how you made this hopeful.
Yes. Good luck.
Sounds like something
Or at least the technocracy.
come through.
Who can it be now? No, 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 no.
Or